shut up, three things to make clear. Y'all for God, what's up?
The gun is the tool.
I'm on 5 on my top 5. Ain't no 6, man, we all right. I roll a 7 with 2 dots. Hey, this beat is too far.
The hunter is the weapon. Have spoken. My time is now.
Warriors who wanna feel this time to die. Warriors who wanna feel, go to the sky. I put the crown on my head, I wear the scars on my chest, Yeah, take all that queens and bishops and knights like we playing chess, Warriors who wanna feel, go to the sky.
I am Bloodhunder, chosen hunter, beast of slaughter. They will learn my name once more.
This is where heroes are created, where moments are forged in the heart of Paris. Welcome to the ALGS Split 1 Playoffs.
RE4 oh my God. Is all they need. They are farming.
Massive 1, 2, 3 times. It's a 1v1. And it does it for Liquid. Zeta now up on the high ground as walls will fall. Floating is taking this game over. He's already got 8. It's all about timing the swing here. 1 player remaining. Easy flash. Dealt with. Match point finals is live. Strafing Flame. Swing comes in. He gets taken down. Strafing Flame with the biggest shot to the final so far. Everybody is in front of them. Oh, but that's Zeta Division. Zeddy will fall. And send them for back-to-back. But it's Zeta Division who come through with a win for APAC North. The boogeyman of match point stands tall for Unlimit. Flushes out AG. No, left in the Kraber. He's going to have to reload. Yanya down. It's Unlimit's time to celebrate. Yulari Mount is down though. Crazy Kong follows. Pace! Pace!
Zeta Division are still alive, but Unlimit, who have denied so much already.
Stubby is down. 2v2. Pace up on the high ground. The beams come in from Yuka, but it's Unlimit! The team known for deleting match point teams are now the champions of the ALGS Split 1 Playoffs at the Esports World Cup 26.
fans, we're back. Day one of the ALGS Americas, and we are ready to get hyped. I got Dia and Graceful alongside me. Of course, I'm SpiderTiff. I'll be hosting throughout the day. But guys, we had some crazy roster shifts coming into Split 2, and I feel like we've got to talk about them. So Dia, talk to me about Verhulst. Decided to step down from the 100 Thieves Apex roster.
Yeah, sad to see him taking a break. Verhulst has been playing for basically as long as I have been commentating, I think even a little bit longer, but he didn't use the most important word, the most common word in Apex Legends most, retirement. It's not about that. He's taking a break. And that means he might come back, although I guess, to be fair, retirement kind of means the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I mean, I love that he shouted out that he got to play with the team and, like, you know, notes to Jen Burton, of course. But we look back on his legacy, Graceful, and there's some real notable performances in there.
I mean, that big, shiny gold legacy right there is with HAL as well, I believe, year 2 and year 3. So anybody who's had that peak will forever be chasing that peak, as he has had solid results over, you know, across the years with his teams as well. But Verhulst taking a break, and like I like to say as well, the breaks are very different from each player to each player. Sometimes it's just a couple of months. Sometimes we've even seen a week. Somebody say, hey, I'm taking a break, and then they're back on a new roster the next time they get opportunities. So hope he gets a mental reset that he might need, but hoping also to see him come back, because he's one of the players that I think everybody looks up to.
Look, I'm just telling you, I want to wear my Verhulst Reps HAL jersey at least one more time in my life. Well, it's not a jersey, it's a t-shirt they handed out in Raleigh. But of course, with Verhulst leaving, we have Koifel stepping in. Dia, I feel like you're laughing because you remember that. Do you have like 4 of those in your closet?
I do. It's there. That roster's not coming back. That's a let's get you to bed, Grandma sort of Apex callback. I am, however, happy for the new generation that is coming into Crazy Thieves, though. Koifel, I mean, I think about halfway through Verhulst's career, maybe a little bit less than that, 30% of the way it started coming up, and he has been basically on top, like a top prospect in the Americas, one of the strongest regions, the strongest region in the world. Let's not cut grapes. I don't know what that phrase means. Koifel is an incredible prospect, and Crazy Thieves, they do need that after a disappointing split.
Yeah, it was a really interesting LAN. Of course, Koifel did have some complications, ended up in the hospital, Graceful, so we didn't really get to see a ton out of him there. I'm glad he's better. I'm ready to see what he brings to Split 2.
I mean, make sure to rehydrate everybody as well, even at home. Grab some snacks and relax. But for sure, Koifel is one of the prime example of up-and-coming players that have actually shown to his true colors, where he's probably the up-and-coming that had the best results across the world, I would say. So him making his roster is a huge pickup for them, and I think that now that he has joined the roster as a Koifel, known as the pure fragger he is across all of his tournaments, past successes, has filled a role that they might have dearly needed on this team. So hoping to see some good success from them.
Same, and of course, we did have Phony step in for Koifel when he wasn't feeling too great, but with Koifel going to join that roster, it kind of opens the door for another shift. Saucer joining Shopify Rebellion. Dia, any hot takes on this? We big fans. I mean, everyone welcome Saucer. Zainu no longer IGLing. We're shifting the roles and responsibilities, and sometimes that can be difficult.
Tiff, I can hear your impish smile, knowing that I am not. I am
gremlin.
I want to couch this, everyone. I predicted Rock to win in Sapporo. That did not go well at all. But I am a Sorcerer fan. It's important to couch. I am not a Sorcerer fan on this roster. This move to me feels like a mismatch. I'm excited to see where it goes, but Saucer is a very emotional IGL. At some lands, champs included, it's been his downfall. And if you look at his history when compared to Zainu's, who was IGLing before, it's comparable, if not Zainu's just straight up better in, I think, almost all the stats that we have here. So I don't really understand why this move would be, why specifically you would bring in Sorcerer, who has been really up and down, whose emotions may be mismatched with the squad, just to give Zainu a break from IGLing. It feels wrong to me.
Interesting. I mean, look, hey, we all gotta have takes. We all might be wrong sometimes, but it's hard to say. It could be the right perspective. Could be.
I got a bone pick to hear because I can't believe a bone to pick here with Dia. Yeah, because I can't believe you're already doubting this team. Like, I like it. Look, I think if in the future Zainu wants to go back to IGLing, I believe that he could be one of the best IGLs. But right now, he needs to put his team's focus in the front line, and they need to have a good LAN if they want to get the champs. So getting a vetted IGL like Sauce, someone who's been second on LAN, mind you, is a very, very mature move to step back. And I also think this is really good for the role fit. Zainu could go back into more of a flex supporter role that he want to LAN on, and then Zap can do what he does best, and he could take over fragging, because there was some, I think, role issues that I think Shopify needed to shake up for a bit when you had Zainu, fragging, or Zainu, Koi, and Zap who could all frag, right? So this gives them that flexibility again, and these are two of the best players that Sauce has ever teamed with. And you're talking about emotions. Sauce is really good playing with Panic. Look, Panic is a very excited player, and he did great there. I think he'll do great with Zap and Zainu too.
There is a chance that Zainu specifically has changed emotionally, but I want to throw this out there, and this may be false equivalency. Is Hal a better IGL for having played with Zero? I don't think so. I think he's about the same, and I think Zainu is going to come out about the same.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at Graceful now because I'm like, we got an X Pro here, and I feel like he needs to weigh in.
I mean, I really just think that you can't really take too much of teams when I would say the level disparity between the rosters that they have IGL'd on their own has been quite great. I think this is probably the best roster that Sauce has ever had in terms of strength overall on the individuals. So I think that now is the moment he has to shine through, where a lot of teams are imagining, oh, what if I played with Hal, or if I played, instead of Hawk is IGLing, I would have the Roller Demons on my team and I would do so well. I think Sauce is in that lime spot right now where he can do it. If he doesn't, then we might revisit this conversation. But for now, I'll hold my guns for the moment and say, hey, give him the shot he got, and then we'll talk about it after.
So you're saying this is Sauce's best roster he's ever been on?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but what's the difference here? Like, we're in the Americas. It's not like we're in APAC South 3 years ago, where the difference between a top player and a bottom player is like having your controller plugged in and not. We're like, this is the Americas that attracts the best talent from around the world. You're going from what, an 8 to a 9, a 9 to a 10? Are Saucer's results going to double, triple? I don't know. I'm not saying that Sauce is a bad IGL. I think he's a good IGL. I think he's fine. I just don't know if this is the best move for Shopify. That's all I'm saying.
I do think I agree with you that the margins are very close in Americas. However, the top of those margins are Zainu and Zap. They are 100%.
I mean, they've done pretty well historically. Zainu's won a LAN.
Two.
Like,
two times.
Okay, two. There we go. Two.
Teams.
My bad. Two. Let's meet our teams, guys. Jumba's here, and I'm so excited to have him yapping alongside me as we get into some chaotic moments and make people fight on broadcast. Today, you're going to be seeing groups A and B, but of course C will be down there somewhere playing at some point. Falcons eventually, but who knows? Okay, guys, it's just going to be a good time. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's an accelerated split. I'm not used to this, but today's matchup, Groups A, Groups B.
Excited to see this particular group matchup, especially because Group A was... Well, we didn't really coin any of them particularly, but it's the group of death. Jumba, I'm not wrong in saying that. We can agree on this?
I think Group A is easily the group of death. Not only do they have really good teams, you have free thinkers who just runs everyone down on edge. So you got to always watch your back when they're in the lobby.
So watch your back. All right, Dia, Grace, let's break it down. If we're watching our back, I'd love to hear about map number 1.
All right, Grace, you know where we're starting. It is that more chaotic map, that map that I said is such a nice way to start the Pro League. And though it is not the recently reworked World's Edge, we are going to be heading on over to Storm Point for game number 1. Excited to see how this shapes up, especially because the two maps worked out so differently in EMEA. Perhaps partially due to the map, but as you highlighted, also due to the fact that we're starting with no legend bans, Crypto, Alter, both available, and that can make the first couple of games extremely chaotic on a map that is already very kill heavy.
I will definitely say that for everybody who always goes the moment a team that is considered a Titan to not perform to the ideal the first couple of matches, say already washed, please hold your breath. When Crypto and Alter are in play for the moment before they get banned, it's so crazy. Like, anybody at any point can just come through the wall, come through the ceiling, and 3P any fights. We saw 5 back-to-back 3Ps in the EMEA region before coming here. So I'm looking to see how chaotic it might just be. However, one thing I would like to say, we even saw some sight of Bloodhound, and I would like to see if this region perhaps can showcase some more interesting comps for sure.
Yeah, I talked to Jay Future from DINOS, a team that a lot of people should be very excited about right now. Had a fantastic split, went up to their first LAN and nearly made it to the finals at the Split 1 playoffs. DINOS this map will be landing at Command Center, and for the first couple of maps, I think we'll be recognizing a lot of compositions that they run. But for the last couple of maps, all I'll say is that Jay Future talked a lot more about Bloodhound than anyone else I interviewed.
That is a great bet for me, but the best part is we're heading straight into the game, and this is my favorite thing about the whole thing. As a new season hits, new things gets discovered, and people tend to take their own spin off of things, whether that be which weapons you're running. You know, in the previous region, we did see a lot of Prowlers. That gonna reign supreme here. We did see P2020 as well, and I feel like that's kind of an MK weapon. I kind of took note of that. A lot of MK players tend to go for the P2020, whereas all the roller players tend to go for the Prowler. So let's see how that pans out.
Yeah, the attachment discussion has been interesting as well. You mentioned over in EMEA that Edge teams maybe have things a little bit easier this split with the fact that they're able to collect not just so much more attachments, so much more Evo as well, as has very frequently been true, and they're arriving so much comparatively richer to their zone counterparts. But we didn't really see a meta evolve in EMEA strictly around the corrupted attachments. It feels like they're good when you find them, but they're not gameplay defining at the highest level.
Yeah, most definitely. I would say that without meaning to, Edge just got buffed due to the fact that when you're like, you're gonna play the same way. Every team that plays on the Edge is gonna play the same way. You're gonna look to get stacked. You might look to go, if you're going mid-speed, you're going mid-speed off of info and then making a play. Regardless of who you're making a play on, whether that be super late or mid-speed, the team you're running into is essentially weaker due to the loot changes. So they have a buff, and everybody else is just gonna try to survive as long as you can. We even saw triple white armor fighting in triple purple armor. That is something that I have very bad memories of. Like, I remember on LAN, I ran without backpack, white armor, still had to one-bag someone, and then you get ate by triple purple. Like, not a good feeling, and that just gives me some PTSD, honestly.
Yeah. Now we're living in a much better time for zone teams with things like, as we were talking about earlier this week, infinite bats, overflow healer. Your resources can be stretched that much further. And ooh, corrupted sniper stock. Very exciting. A good find for Koifel, the new addition to Crazy Thieves. But we get to talk to Verhulst, not just speculate on the break. So I wanted to cut to a quick clip of what Verhulst thought about the timing of his break and what Koifel joining Crazy Thieves means.
We were all pretty confident we wanted to make a roster change. Not qualifying for the LAN was like the perfect time to take a break. It's like, okay, our team is like at our lowest motivation. I just wasn't having as much fun, which I think is the biggest thing. I wasn't able to find a way to like enjoy myself. And then they eventually picked up Koifel, which I was surprised. I didn't know Koifel was going to be leaving his team. I thought that was pretty crazy, but I'm really happy with for Jen and Phony, because I think Koifel is literally the perfect player they could have picked up.
Koifel definitely an exciting player to bring in. Jumba, what do you think about all this?
Well, look, you could probably make a 30-minute video about what happened with CRT, and shout out Jayhawk, because he actually did. But as Verhulst was kind of saying at the end there, CRT had a massive issue with role fit, specifically needing a true fragger. And I think it's a misconception in the Apex world that fragging... Verhulst and Burton, Phony, they're all at the top of the charts when it comes to that. The best fraggers are the ones that can put themselves in advantage positions to get kills, know how to give and take space, and Koifel, for the longest time, has been an elite player for doing that. So he is the true fragger that this team needs, and a major addition for CRT.
It's nice to hear from Jumba. Thank you, King, for giving us a little bit of insight on especially the mentality that this might bring to Crazy Thieves. That positioning is really going to be tested in this zone in particular, as Crazy Thieves have got themselves a bit of an awkward spot in zone. It's right on the edge, a very rare zone pull if it ends up going towards Crazy Thieves. But the fact that ShopifyRebellion are right next door to them is, though these teams might not know it, very interesting situation for the viewers at home. Who's actually come out the better for this roster change?
Definitely fate intertwines deeper than most people tend to see it. But yeah, I mean, that's a discussion up for to see at the end of this year. So I would say I would always like to keep calm for the moment, because some teams start hot, some teams start cold, but at the end of the day, the teams that are the strongest tend to reign supreme at the top. Hopefully we get to see some couple of shakeups today though, because I think even in the other regions we saw some teams that weren't surprisingly super strong, and if they can keep up that form for the rest of the weekend, because indeed we are playing 3 days back to back to back, that insanely affects teams of how they're able to adapt, because not only do you not have time to go back to the drawing board for a long time, only for a couple of hours honestly at this point, whereas normally we were used to playing maybe 1 day a week, maybe twice if you were lucky, if you had a good day, and unlucky if you had a bad day because you didn't have time to go back to the drawing board. But at this point, with 3 days back to back to back, it really is make or break for these teams.
Yeah, you've got to have your game plan dialed in coming into the weekend, because the opportunity that you have to make change is so small and can be really punishing for a lot of these squads that are trying to figure out their identity. Roster changes, even as we've been talking about them, really punishing right now, and as are these nades. 5-star eaten quite a few of them, enough that a catalyst wall has to be thrown out after they lose one. A quick swing onto Panic by Caden, actually finds the 1v1 with the car, is able to back away with a little bit of cover left to him. Does he actually get a heal off? This wall has provided them with a lot of safety, but not enough as he eats a stray shot all the way through the ferro fluid. That's going to be a full fin by Dig onto Liquid's 0. And hopefully Dig is able to make the escape here, but no! He gets cut right off, and I'm sorry. That's your first team eliminated, Dig. That was a tough hand you were dealt.
I'm not gonna lie, with the zone being this close to them, taking any fight at this opportunity is bound to spell doom for them, which it did indeed, because you have too many teams rotating early to be able to take this isolated fight. Somebody is going to intervene, especially when you have the likes of Crypto and Alter available. Everybody is running that comp just to make sure that they can run that game run that character as many times as they can before they get banned out. And we could really see it. Team Liquid, however, one of them going out early shouldn't really be too crazy though, because when you have Crypto available, any reset is possible.
Liquid, another team that I guilty of doubting in the past. So as you say, Graceful, all things in time, they had a fantastic LAN. Their performance at Split 1 playoffs really left a lot of doubters like me going, oh, you know what? I guess I just needed to give you a little bit of time to cook. And that they certainly did. Having a respawn on 0, hopefully they're able to get him back to the rest of the team, as Panic and Sykes will have to cover for his re-entry into the game. But as it is, Jurassic not the most stressful place to be. It's getting out of Jurassic that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, most definitely. Team Liquid, I would almost say back to the old shape we have known and come to love, as Zero has been one of the strongest players in the world for quite some time early on in this game's history. Now, return to his former form. Happy to see that happen, but Zone is indeed very center. We'll have to see in 30 seconds which way will it pull and will it be good for them. Crazy Thieves, however, looking really comfortable in a spot I like to call very versatile. Regardless of where it's going, they have the potential to relocate if they want to.
Infinite ammo on the Nemesis is really nice. I like infinite ammo, always good for saving a lot of space in your backpack. With energy weapons, it gets a little bit less efficiency. With the Nemesis, I think it's actually forgivable, because the Nemesis you really want to be able to abuse in long engagements. Nemesis benefits a lot off of the infinite ammo and being able to keep the ramp for the longest possible time. It's in a crazy position right now. If you guys haven't tried it, pick up a Nemesis at home and enjoy the free win, because man, that weapon is wild right now.
Nemesis is indeed really strong, and this zone actually pulls up a little bit. AG Global looks like to be really happy with this zone pull. Unreal Nightmare as well. Even DINOS coming from the absolute height is fine, as long as you're able to close out, clear out your backside there. If Team Darkspire ends up fighting them and they get thirded by head glitch potentially, it's gonna be really hard for them. But can you clear out your backs before walking your way in from height? It's a good position nonetheless.
I don't know if we actually have the clip ready, but later we'll maybe get to talk about it. Dinos have this evolution of the game plan that happened during the course of Split 1 playoffs, where the identity of this team as a new squad into the Pro League and the highest levels of it has been changing, but it looks like right here they are back to their old strat. It's not really about trying to commit to any specific playstyle with the comps as they are. This one being, as J Future would refer to it, a crypto game. This is Dino's old playstyle of pick a spot, shoot everyone behind you till they're dead, and keep on moving forward. And Free Thinkers, they don't even shoot everyone behind them. They just shoot everyone. Free Thinkers have picked a fight with Team Liquid, and they win it. Kaboom!
Big Skynades coming out of negative right there. Free Thinkers, one of the teams we talked about a little bit earlier as well. They will run at anyone, and they have ran down Team Liquid.
There's not much you can do about that. I think a lot of people might look at this and go, Team Liquid got out team fought. No, you got free thought. There's nothing you can really do. When Free Thinkers decides that you're dead, you probably are, especially this early on into the Pro League season. Not a lot of teams are in position to punish a squad like Free Thinkers. Not a lot of teams are even in position to third party and kill both of you. Free Thinkers pick their free fight, and they, as mechanically talented as they are, and almost sure to get poached as they are going to pick you up.
Most definitely. Other teams are starting to scope out to see where our teams lining up right now. Are they gonna move deeper into the zone? I always like to play this game. It's pretty much like a race of chicken, where are they here because they know where it's going, or are they here because they don't know where it's going? So many times people are getting tricked when they're lacking that information of where the zone actually is, which is why we tend to see a lot of teams going, like, opting to go mid-speed instead. Maybe get that zone 3, zone 4 knowledge and then decide what to do, because a lot of the times, like, people misread the zone, or people just simply don't have the knowledge but act like they do, and that ends up costing some games for a couple of these teams.
Carter walking up, landing a couple of nice shots. Team Vision, another squad that had a great performance at LAN. Free Thinkers have picked another fight. Will it be one that they win? At least not as quickly, it appears. Negative gonna go for the scan, not actually find it, but end up taking the port right back to where they wiped Team Liquid earlier, hopefully bringing Orange back with him. Mike Jitsu gonna take care of the recovery, and Free Thinkers get to run at this team once again. Storm are not gonna push aggressively to try and finish this off, but Vision are definitely pushing aggressively, not just on the Spiders, but onto January.
We saw a couple of those wingman shots come through in Team Vision. One of the teams, I don't know how many people follow these power rankings people tend to do, but Vision looking really strong on top of that as well. Zach's time is now, and I know nobody is happier than you, Dia, with that, but Zach Mazer has been leveling up slowly over time. Always been wondering when his breakthrough moment really is gonna be, and it might be here just now.
Unfortunately for Dinos, this game not their easiest, as moving further into zone, Chaos has basically given up the opportunity to recover their teammates. Sitting on Catalyst right now, it is up to one squad to look at you, and there are plenty in the area. Very dangerous place to be on the Catalyst, but a lost team fight for Dinos is going to turn into just that. Their game plan, good, but not infallible, as their spot ends up being taken by Team Darkspire, currently now fighting with Team Vision just off screen to hold on to it.
If any game is hard to rat, it's this game right now. With both Crypto and Ultra available, Dino's its future is looking very grim for sure. But one team that is on the opposite side of things, looking to make plays on everybody, is ShopifyRebellion, and I really want to hear what they have cooking.
Yeah, no, this team on the left, yes. Team Tunnel is not looking to fight us though. Look for drone height, look for drone height. I'm trying.
Yeah, they're walking up. They're gonna look to fight us, guys. So I'll shoot across us, maybe.
I'll be fine here. Zap, yeah, I'm gonna play the wall you, okay?
I'm getting drone. I'm playing farther back, and I'll keep through on the EMP, alright?
30 on drone, 30 on drone! Drone's one.
Yeah, I can't play there.
Walk up! Right here. Looking.
Wall guy's here. Came through me.
Yeah, keep him back.
There's one guy alone here, Zap. You can take a one right here, please.
I'm batting. I had the wall here. I had to use it. We got right.
Can I take a one or no?
Yes, one guy's alone. Yes, you can. Walk up here. I'm EMPing him. That's gonna be really good EMP. Look at Alter. Yeah, look. Alter one. Literally one EMP behind the box. I'm coming. Alter's one bullet. So. Alter's literally one. Replace someone. Come on, walk in. Getting full.
I'm not coming.
One low ground building. Wall hacks.
Yeah.
I can't do
Zone's closing. We just go for kills.
I don't have wall. We get these kills, walk in. Team here on my ping right now.
66 on left. Right one. Pop itself.
Peeking.
Wait.
Crypto 30 flash.
Yeah, okay,
Walk the zone. I think walk the zone. Walk the zone.
Keep it low.
Wrapping right. I'm looking for kills though. They're on us. I'm with you. Let's walk in. I'm with you, Sauce. I'm with you. Don't worry. I'm with. Okay, they're walking in behind us. They're walking in behind us right now.
Okay, slow down. Wait,
Chillin' up and turn around. Full safe in me.
Top 2 and 1. I'm gonna keep their triggers, alright?
They're hitting me right now. Guy, cut on. Go zap. Don't worry about it.
Just go to the
I can left.
Nice.
I'm just wrapping.
I'm running close.
Holy fuck, dude.
Oh my god.
Cracked on onion.
I try that.
I'm done.
It's such a hard zone. I'm just getting the kills. I don't know if we can live there. I think my walls.
Dying almost out of nowhere, almost instantly, and they're not the only team. Head Glitch gonna go down as well. Dino's already bit the dust, and Crazy Thieves, they're on the outs. Phony's already been discovered, just trying to hide his little head behind the rock. We'll get over to Jen Burton inside the knockdown shield, but that's gonna buy them no time at all. W press go out, Geekay fall, and we're down to 10 squads in a single zone close.
Southern side collapses entirely as many teams fall. The side of proactivity, but Team Vision, one of another team that is looking to be proactive right now, looking to fight negative right here, gets the initial downs 2-0. It's gonna be an easy wipe for Team Vision.
Taking on the Free Thinkers. I think it's that Free Thinkers didn't start the fight. If Free Thinkers start the fight, I think they win every fight. But Team Vision started the fight, and the Free Thinkers realized they had nowhere to be. An unfortunate end for them, but a realistic one is it's gonna happen to somebody. White Jelly almost finding the 1v1. Entity Racer shield swap just in time, and it looks like Team Darkspire will live to fight another day. Buckle Boy's not gonna push them from the low ground. Unreal Nightmare unable to do anything about this. Great clutch up from Team Darkspire just in the nick of time.
8-team circle 4 as everybody's starting to look like my rank games right now. Mongo's down to Sentinels as everybody's trying to fight for the same building. Everybody goes, there's no teams alive. Let's just take the fight right now as Sentinels tries to stabilize.
Reinforcing the hard light. Monsoon's gonna come back up. Blinkster's got a hold of the bottom floor on his own against enemy Crook and Rosie. He's getting swung on right now and is gonna pop up to the top floor where he's got plenty of defenses with Monsoon and Fun's Ferrofluid to make it work. Still low though, and definitely in danger of being swung. Sentinels have to be careful. Sentinels, one of those teams that is in contention for a top squad in the world. I think a lot of people think this conversation has almost been too far delayed. Sentinels should have been there when we were coming into LAN this year, but haven't been given the credit by the public that they deserve.
Definitely Sentinels, without a doubt, is one of the best teams in the entire world right now. People always tend to talk about consistency, and they've been nothing but consistent as of lately, and I think that really goes to show. However, right now for this match, however, Team Vision looking really consistent, and not necessarily on the pants, on the part of points, but the fact that they're winning fights and being so proactive, regardless of the lobby just dying out really quick.
Lauder is farming with nades while Carter is doing trigonometry with the portals. It ends up working out, and Carter, the math genius, slides in, finishing off the Buckle Boys. Team Vision should have the opportunity to reset because full 11 are fighting Unreal Nightmare. Meanwhile, Team Vision have a huge amount of time to chill, but Brainrotting start walking up on them, and maybe that time has run out. Zach and Carter shoot through immediately. Team Vision out in 6th place. Brainrotting take advantage of a relaxed Team Vision and strike to finish them off. Full 11 got pushed back by Unreal Nightmare, but with both teams still alive, we've only lost one. Down to the top 5, Brainrotting, Unreal Nightmare, Full 11, Sentinels, and Sesame Oil. The last teams left standing with 10 seconds left on zone close.
If you bring ranked into Pro League right now, Mr. Rosie is probably the best candidate to run these lobbies. He's been rank 1, I've seen as well, for quite some time in the past season even, I believe, and he's been doing really phenomenal. Right now though, Unreal Nightmare is looking to be the team on absolute height, but the zone does close further south where they have to drop down in between two teams. And when there's not that many teams alive, they are not keeping each other in check. That means Unreal Nightmare will have a tough time to survive this potentially.
Infinite ammo Kraber though solves a lot of problems. We'll see if Qzier is able to find any one-tap maps to the dome, as that will be Unreal Nightmare's way to solve all of their issues. Wipe out a team, make it clean, take on the second Crook enemy, and Mr. Rosie, a terrifying squad to take a 3v3 with. 2v3? You can probably do it. Oh, there goes Blink.
Kraber finds its mark, but it doesn't really matter because they are indeed safe in this building for now. But EMPs does come through. I think it's swapped by another team, actually.
Sentinels got to play defense right now. Looks like they're able to do it. Fun with the triple take. Almost manages to pull off the 1v3, but still in a 1v2. Dangerous spot. Manages to find one knock. Might even manage to find another as A1's last standing behind the knockdown shield is going to get pushed by Fun, but A1's wins the 1v1 clutching things up for Sesame Oil.
The fact that a Kraber from across the small zone finds that opening for the team to clear them up, Sesame Oil is very happy with that, even though it was way too close for Comfort. Unreal Nightmare right now starting fights.
Nano's also got a Kraber? Is this the same Kraber? It's a different Kraber. Unreal Nightmare have double Kraber in the end zone. 13 seconds left on this zone close. This might be the most shopped it could possibly be for every other squad in the lobby. We are Kraber sniping drones because we've got the ammo to spare. As the zone starts closing, will this double Kraber turn into a win? Who can overcome a loadout like this?
I will definitely revisit this, Dia, because you said it would not be a problem in competitive leagues. As we see right now, non-stop Kraber shots are going out. And Quizir right now is finding the mark and gets thirsted as well, but they can absolutely thirst anybody with the double Kraber. But an ultra coming from behind them.
Hey, double Kraber or not, you get ultra queued on and your game might just be over. Quizir fighting inside the knockdown shield is gone, and a double Kraber squad bites the dust. Brain rotting, the ones to deal the killing blow. Sesame Oil, though, coming in nothing for the third, for the fourth party in the most chaotic lobby we could have asked for. Game 1 of the Americas goes to Sesame Oil.
Sesame Oil indeed. I can't believe that just happened. They were too trigger happy with those double Krabers. Ended up actually getting turned on from behind because Alter can actually pop up behind you. Even if you queue through a wall, if you get through the ground, you actually pop up way deeper than you're supposed to be, and that just enabled them to get picked off from behind. But Sesame Oil found the fact that the Sentinels right next to them got Krabered and made a play on it. It did come down just to the literally to the last inch of the fight, but they made it happen and closed out the game. That was a good play from them.
Yeah, I mean, great start, of course, to the Pro League for Sesame Oil. Wondering where they've ended up in the standings after all of that, because plenty of kills certainly went their way. 18 points to BrainRotting's 20 points. A very high kill game for them, picking up 11 over the course of this first game. It was bloody, Grace. Like you said, this game looked like a ranked queue because teams were running at each other. But you know what I learned? Is that the infinite ammo Kraber actually not that problematic in a competitive well, I get flamed for that. Let's hear from Jumba and Tiff about game 1.
Yo, thank you guys so much. Honestly, I can keep flaming Dia Jumba if you want. I would be happy. I would be happy to flame.
Graceful, or who was it that tried on EMEA today? You go, take it away. Do it again.
Oh, you're right. Okay, it was me. I received a DM, and I usually don't read my messages, but because it's from a man named Don, who you may know from the podcast, of course I was going to read it, right? He gave me his predictions, but he also said, BTWs, I hard disagree with Dia. I think Coach Don is going to be huge for Sauce's mental. And I was like, oh my God, we were having this whole conversation and we didn't bring up Don. What's the coach? That dude is gnarly. Anyways, yeah. Just wanted to let you know that.
I was thinking about it. Donnie is a coach of Don, and he's right. He's right. I think that the whole Shopify Rebellion team has a good support system behind them.
Yeah, they totally do. But honestly, while we got you here and while everyone at home is probably like, oh my God, what are they going to talk about? Well, we've got some really cool stuff, right? He's been really helping me understand the entire LAN qualification spots as we move towards Sapporo and who's kind of getting allotted things. Because let me just tell you, I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm on the Iron Tangle, and that book has got my head spinning almost as much as how this works. So break it down for us in the most simplistic way.
Yeah, it's tough. If you read the rules, which I did, there's formulas on there, and I don't need that. So I'll make it easy for you guys. Prior to the beginning of each year, each region has a set amount of spots at LAN. Americas gets 13, and every other region gets 9. But based on the region's performance at the Split 1 playoffs, they can gain or lose up to 2 spots for the Split 2 playoffs. And America did pretty good, so they actually have 15. I think they could have even earned more if that cap wasn't there. So that means there's a lot to go around and there's a lot to go around for them. It doesn't necessarily mean anyone should get complacent. 13 spots last split, and we saw good teams not make it. We talked about CRT, right? But ultimately, it means that if you make regional finals, and especially if you're in the top half, like top 5, top 7 going into regional finals, you're feeling kind of comfy that you've locked in your LAN position.
I think we've seen some really cool things happen in the Americas aside. I felt like last split, it was a real comeback for Zach Mazer, who went on to LAN and did incredibly well, looked pretty solid there in map 1 before getting absolutely steamrolled in a weird position, but they were looking so good before that. And now we're seeing all of these kind of roster changes, and even with BRAINROTTING getting second, cool to see Crook and Enemy reunited alongside Mr. Rosie, putting up big numbers. But guys, while we talk about our LAN qualification spots and all of the rosters that are looking to get there, reminder, Americas has the best chance to put the most teams on Split 2 playoffs in those final lobbies, happening October 29th through November 1st at the Orleans Arena. Now, I've been there, and it's a cool arena, guys. It's really close to a lot of things like restaurants and what Vegas is known for, okay? Good times, shenanigans, get your tickets now and come see us. Jumbus has only been to Vegas once, and honestly, he's ready to go back. He's ready to go back.
Absolutely. They call it the entertainment capital for the world for a reason. I'm trying to go see a hockey game out there. I hear those are cool, but I also need a costume. So I'm asking people to let me know what I should dress up as for the LAN, because it's on Halloween. That's crazy. That's so sick.
Yo, you could be Axel. You could be Axel. I know you're talking Mirage,
Axel,
but I feel like Axel would be so exciting. Or maybe a Pathfinder. Can you give me your best Pathfinder line?
Let's go, friends.
Let's go, friends. All right, Dia Graceful. Yeah, it was perfect. It was a good throw, too. We'll just give it back to Dia Graceful and get us into match number 2.
Let's go, friends, indeed. Hey, Grace, I'm going to give you a chance before I pop off on my next point. Do you need to flame me after last game? It's okay if you do.
I don't flame you, Dia. Even when we play together in our private time, I don't flame you, and I will not flame for you. I'm just having a banter, okay? Go ahead.
That's when even I would flame me. So graceful is a saint by many metrics. Going into game 2, crazily, Alter going to be the ban, not Crypto.
Yep.
But the thing I wanted to bring up here, I was very excited about, because we were talking about Koifel, obviously, in the pre-show because of Crazy Thieves. And I remembered as we were prepping for the show, I was like, oh, wait, when did Koifel first join the Pro League? How far back was that? Because I remember the XSET days, but I know he was around before that. And we were looking at all the history of this. It's interesting the Sesame oil in this game, because A1s and Koifel actually entered the Pro League at the same time, making it through in 2023 Split 2, with Koifel having his debut on SCS, and ultimately finishing was 24th. Rise just below them at 26th was A1's roster. I'm not saying anything about where Sesame Oil is going to end up this split. A1's, well, a good player at the time, has not had the market value that we're seeing Koifel have. But it is interesting. The two players who entered at the same time are such a big topic of conversation as we enter the second split of Year 6.
I will definitely not join in on the Juju, but I will say, though, that match number 1 was very hectic, because we did see that huge collapse on the southern side of things where several teams fell down. CRT, one of them. So it's a little bit hard to say for sure that the reasoning behind why teams fell short, because when too many teams die out too quick, I have to go back to the vault to double check whether that be comms, whether that be macro of why they're falling short. And yeah, I gotta say, I gotta look into it a little bit more, Dia.
Yeah, I think you can get drawn into the pace of the game as well. That happens a lot. Free thinkers are notorious for making lobbies happen like this because free thinkers run at everybody, and then there are less squads, and even the squads that still are around, even if free thinkers are alive, are going, well, we just saw people run at another squad, maybe it's time to run at squads. Like, you can get drawn into the feeling of needing to go fast in these games very, very quickly, of needing to maximize every opportunity, and I think that's a big reason why we saw game 1 go the way that it did. A lot of early game, a lot of early split jitters as well. If game 2 goes the same way, I think it's a free thinkers difference. And if game 2 doesn't go the same way, it's early split jitters. I think that's where I'm at right now.
I'm not too sure about early split jitters, but definitely I will say though that when there's not that many teams in the lobby, people start thinking, oh, there's not that many teams around us. We might be able to pull this fight off, and we could definitely see that in some of these fights getting taken that were very questionable, and it costed a lot of teams as well. We saw 10 teams circle 4. It's not something we're way too used to, but I think it might pan out a little bit faster than it did in the EMEA earlier today because of that ban specifically, Alter being out. It's also the reason why the double Kraber team died, is only because of that one legend making the whole team pop up behind them. Should slow down this quite some bit, but crypto still being available enables this free information to decide if you want to fight. So maybe some proactivity still remains.
Crazy Thieves got an early zone read out of Pylon, so they get to move first on the prediction. Echo HQ not going to get so lucky, it appears. Shopify Rebellion and Unreal Nightmare going to be able to collect their ring information out of a very proximal to Zone Jurassic. And everybody's betting on Coastal Camp right now. There are zones that pull up towards the ridgelines that Sentinels are flying over right now. Very infrequently will Team Liquid's position be very good, but it's also not going to be very bad as it's pretty flexible. A lot of these early bets being placed on where the zone will end, I like, because Coastal Camp can be really punishing. If it's not ending out in the open and you're trying to cross it, you're probably dead.
Yeah, most definitely. And 5S as well, one of the teams that I was hoping and excited to watch today as well, have had the opportunity to play with Dig for quite some bit when the solo queue was live at that point. So looking forward to root for him as well. But one of the teams we keep talking about and we keep seeing making these good macro decisions is Team Liquid. They might have fallen short in the previous game, only to free thinkers running them down. Will this game be any different? Hoping to see what happens.
Team Liquid hold their future spot. This is one of those flexible positions that I know you like, Graceful. It's not necessarily about hard predicting the zone. You're not trying to play edge. You're just trying to find a way to live in the middle, not commit too hard to any one thing, and hopefully make that flexibility your strength as the game goes on. Something that DINOS will have a difficult time doing. Remember, they did move out of command center, so their rotation down here was actually pretty fast and easy, but into the zone is so much further that I think they probably got to pick a flexible spot too.
Most definitely, and coming in from the southeastern side as well into Echo is going to be tough, because once there's not that many teams, if everybody predicted it to go a little bit deeper, there's not going to be that many teams in Echo. And one of the things that I do like to say, outside of that being flexible as well, is you need other teams to keep you in check. If there's not too many teams around, that allows teams that already have space to abuse the space to make plays happen that normally wouldn't be possible if there were more teams around you. So definitely Echo side is going to be heavily proactive later on, as if it comes down to a single 3v3.
Unreal Nightmare and Team Liquid gonna be the fight that draws some of the first blood we see. Will it actually be a full squad wipe? With Nano the last one left standing, Unreal Nightmare will fall, but it's not only to Team Liquid. There's a little bit of a collaborative experience going on here with some shots from afar. Very nice pickups for our Red Bull first strike as Team Liquid grab the first 3 KP of the game, and spare 5-star from repeating their fate from game 1. Riley gonna have to run for the hills, having narrowly avoided being the first strike. Head Glitch still don't want to be the second, but they're running headlong into vision, and Riley not gonna be able to do too much about this, as there is a lot of crowding around the top side of the map. Team Vision, Darkspire, both conspiring to eliminate Head Glitch.
While Team Vision didn't have that many placement points last game, they had several kills and currently sitting on 15 points. Other teams like ALGS as well is looking to get active as they get a couple of KP on the lead, where potentially if they can fin this, still come down to a 2v1 though, so they should be able to clean this up rather comfortably.
DINOS going out. I can't believe I have this squad up before. I mean, I can believe it. They're great. Do I feel bad about doing it to them? Yeah, a little bit. The pressure, the public eye, I'm hoping gets averted, gets put in a forgiving place, because I am still a believer in DINOS' potential, but this first couple of games have not quite gone their way. Maybe getting back into the swing of things after LAN, whatever it may be, getting a little unlucky. You said, Graceful, that we couldn't judge after the first 2 games, and so now I'm going to use it in my favor.
Yes, indeed. Otherwise, you're gonna get caught in the interview later on saying you didn't trust that they would make it through, and they still show up right there to talk to you. Most definitely, though. I would say having a couple of games, even being donuts, is not good by any means, but it's doable. Once you're heading into that threshold of 4 matches, now we're looking at those moments where you just have to win back-to-back or get top 3 back-to-back, and that's when it is really hard, depending on the zones where they're pulling, where they're ending, and where your POI is. You know, for edge teams, there might be a blessing in disguise where the zone is far away for you, but then the next game it's on top of you and you don't get to do that loot, and you're sitting there with triple white armor, asking yourself, should we have rotated away from our POI, or should we have stayed and played Godspot? These questions always pops into every single IGL's minds of when the zone is going where and how we should react appropriately. But so far, teams have been looking to play rather proactively. We're gonna have to see, though, how it unfolds.
I made the right choices.
Hitting purple, though, for W press is a big marker. You shield check somebody once you get into zone, and if they're not on purple, you can dole out a lot of hurt for relatively free. W press making their way into barometer right now should be able to hit not just the ring console should they want, but the survey beacon, more importantly, to spot out what positions are available to them. This next ring, not really super clear on where it's going still. Coastal Camp still looks good, but at the same time, Storm's position could still roll well. We could go out to the ridge line, in which case, Storm are very happy.
I think that their positioning is super solid if they can hold it. It's a tough spot to hold for sure. Even though you're playing those boxes in that corner, you can get angled out quite some bit or even aided out where most teams are walking up the hills in either directions, whether that be the northern side, whether that be the western side, or you're getting poked from the far southern mountain, actually. But should they be able to hold that on, though, they have a really good positioning for sure. Every other team, though, that did predict Coastal Camp side is definitely happy, because as long as it's on the same side of the mountain as you, they have more than manageable ways to make it happen. But one of these teams that have made it happen is Team Vision. I really want to hear what they're doing, because they have been running it down on teams and it's been working.
Oh, they're just AFK.
Who you want to report us?
We're just leaving. We're just going backward.
Almost cracked another one.
I don't think it's a very good team. I think it's just somebody that doesn't have a macro. That's a really hard fight. Shouldn't.
Going again? Yeah, nice.
All right, well, we know the wall team is down to fight, and the wall team should have purple, okay? They should be triple purple for sure. They already have good XP pathing. They have 3 bricks and a white.
Okay. Yeah, that's good comms.
I don't think that team understands. Like, bro, you can have that edge. I'm still gonna fucking beat you right there on that goddamn beach, bro. And we can duke it out. I won.
He said it was a bad team potentially, but he did accurately state what they potentially have in their backpack, and that's such a huge thing. They might be running teams down with the amount of kills they have, but they do it with strategies to it, and they have been working out so far. Even though they're triple blue, they are playing kinda getting stacked before we take fights, but they're not shying away from anything.
And let not free thinkers, I think, appropriate critique of being a squad that lacks macro be construed with them lacking a game plan. They have a game plan, and it is to kill you. Free thinkers are mirroring Team Vision through Cedo Station right now. And the chances that these teams fall, look at this! They're mirroring them! Continuing to gatekeep them off the edge of zone. Vision are gonna have to fight this. And free thinkers, you know, it's not a sure thing who comes out on top. Team Vision have absolutely spotted this, and it looks like free thinkers may be giving up the chase for now. I hesitate to say this is the last time these teams will run into each other this game.
Nah, I think they just opt. The Team Vision opts for the UAV knowledge and then making a decision based off of that. But HUSS in the middle of a fight again. You were talking about them having their moments, and now their moment is a fight.
Jelly's got to step up big here, and he does. Finding the pick to turn this back into a 2v2. Needs to find another one though, and again he does. Team Darkspire go down, and there's a reason why people are excited about Jelly. We got to see it right there, and I'm sure we'll see it again. A big pickup for HUSS in the break between splits, but now with the free thinkers running at them, and ShopifyRebellion down in the meantime, how much can you really survive? Because the storm of this game is coming for you. Jelly deals a lot of damage, takes quite a bit, runs right into a rock, but still gets out.
That is the worst feeling ever when you're about to take a fight in that choke, but still get shot in your back from really far away. HUSS recoups in that egg for the moment to see if they can get a short breath of relief, but that also sets it up for when Crypto is in game. Sets up for an easy EMP. Can they break the drone on time? No, they cannot. Get hit by the EMP, and now CQ comes out. Huge W might be happening.
Orange getting out on top of the roof. That is a big nade on top of Jelly. Missing all of his shields right now, but in a safe position to reset. Not going to be pushed by the free thinkers just yet. HUSS have to give up a little bit of height on top of their building, but with Jelly finding the first knock, with Jelly again opening up this fight, making it a winning fight for HUSS. See how much weight he's able to lift here. That's another one down. Deed's low. Orange, I believe the last one left standing, and Jelly knows that it's time to go in for the kill. Free thinkers fall, and now it's Vision's turn to strike. Coming in right on top of a weakened HUSS. Vision should be able to finish this off, but the reset's just gone down inside. Duke back up and starting to heal has Carter popping into the void for just a moment, and ultimately Team Vision, having lost Lauder, aren't quite in control of this fight. Zach Mazer and Carter still in a good spot, but Jelly still alive means that anything could happen. Jelly swings in, takes out Carter. It's up to Zach, but Deeds drops on him, giving Jelly the time to reset. Swing out to Zach Mazer and execute him summarily. Team Vision go down. It is the third squad in 2 minutes that Jelly takes out.
HUSS managed to take out 3 teams back to back to back, but Buckle Boys in the middle of it as well in pylon right now. Comes down to Cruel Buckle. The Buckle Boys can't make it happen as they fall shortly. Wow, though, however, I would say, as another team pulls up immediately. Sesame, the winners of match number 1, gets that free wipe, free 3P, and it just goes to show that sometimes timing is all that matters.
And the timing of this game, a lot like the first one, Grace. We are going fast and hard through this second game of the day, where teams do not seem willing to slow down. But with Axel being in the lobby, even the Catalysts seem unable to stop the unending flow of aggression. The Nades, though, doing their fair job at keeping Team Liquid at bay. Looks like Zero went for a kidnap, didn't quite work. Dark comes back, and a trade, one way and another, leaves Team Liquid still having to reset. The wall is an extra defensive tool. Will let them do just that, as the ring has just finished closing. Well, that wall, it will not be back up in time. I don't know how they all died.
I think Geekay also TP'd from that choke on the southwestern side right there to see if they could join in on that. Everybody's looking to stay super proactive, and W press was eliminated, but W press indeed. Everybody's looking to have fights, and this pacing is something we haven't really seen across the board, but this season alone makes people really hungry for fights.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the map picture-in-picture in a moment, just for a second, because this will really contextualize a lot of the fights we're seeing as really being driven by bloodthirst and nothing else. Take a look at the zone when we see it in the upper left again, because this fight nowhere near the next zone. AG Global are fighting Sesame Oil for a position on the map that won't even exist in 45 seconds. And granted, they win it quickly, but AG Global have expended a lot of time, have expended quite a few resources to make this happen. And with Sesame Oil down into the top 8 squads, AG Global, they need to make sure that they find their way to at least a top 5.
Good reset from AG Global as well, going into that northern side, seeing if they can wipe out the full team and then making their way back before Storm potentially 3-peat them from the crevice. All of the teams are now rotating towards the southern side of the zone as it pulled all the way deep. We did say, where is it gonna pull? Is it gonna go to the other side of the mountain, more out a little bit? But it went all the way south. So teams are now rotating in towards this mountain area and the buildings.
5-Star were the first team eliminated in game number 1, but with this zone pulling to their POI, they have been unchallenged in this game. Hopefully able to pick up a couple of kills, but more importantly, these placement points are going to mean so much to the team as the day goes on. HUSS with a relatively good game in the first round, and Sentinels right above them also managing to have an even better game than HUSS's. Make their hopeful way into the next zone. AG are going to eat that drone, and HUSS seem to be winning the fight at the moment. Prowler comes out at the close range, and that lets HUSS shoot through anybody who takes either one of these two portals. Sentinels, though, take the portal, and will Storm go down? HUSS may be next to follow. These nades coming out as so many Wraith portals are just bringing people right into the meat grinder of HUSS. Deeds is still up, and he's like, do I res dupe, or do I just keep killing?
Even though HUSS has been absolutely killing it so far in teamfight after teamfight, I feel like they're all they don't even want them to happen to them. They just happen to, they just have to throw hands at everybody. TP from the left, TP from the right. Everybody's looking to get some KP on that board. But at this point, there's not even that much KP left.
No, I mean, HUSS have taken out the majority of squads that we have seen die through the course of this second game. And like you say, it hasn't been HUSS really picking these fights. They are the pacifist team that just has to keep doling out the death blows. And as HUSS now look at Sentinels, this may be one of the first fights they actually pick. Let's take a listen in with the pacifists and see what happens.
Can we get underneath somehow?
I can. If you guys call me, I can we can double jump over. Okay, come back.
Okay. Underneath this way.
Follow me, ready?
Yeah. We gotta go.
Ready? Double jump.
Oh, got it.
Far behind, just come.
I'm in. Good. I'm drowning.
Get ready to just nade stack these addresses.
I'm back. Don't think they're back.
Yep. Taking out a swap.
Get ready to fucking play for our spot right here, alright?
Yeah,
that's it. The corner's super fucking good. Alright, I'm trying to get my ult.
Go ahead.
I'm about to have ult. I'm at 92%.
I do have scans on our back. I just don't know if they're
Look, they're porting. This team's porting.
Yep.
Fighting.
They're looking front.
Look in front of me. Watch out.
I'm nading up.
On our left.
I'm looking at our back.
Watch out, look. It's one down.
Alright, I don't have BMP. Get ready to fucking pad forward and look back. That's literally it. Zero on us. Yes. Go.
We're good. Cut. We're good. Play slow.
We gotta look right.
Play so.
Right.
Can we climb out?
When you stop.
Get to me.
Coming. I'm here.
It's so good, Deeds.
Yeah, hard selling, dude.
I'm one. You have to hold me.
I'm looking for you. I'm playing big for you guys.
I'm just getting EMP.
Yeah. Pick inside.
I'm batting.
I got heal.
HUSS's comms right on point. The urgency coming out of Duke, putting his team in the right position, and Jelly's aggression as Sentinels fall, as Geekay fall. We've got 4 teams left, and HUSS, they have been the most terrifying. Not even trying to pick the fights. They are casually finding their way into a top 4, and Jelly finally tries to take one himself. He is going to go down for it, but Deeds low as well. Can HUSS survive their first big misstep of this game? Dupe is down. Deeds left to take the 1v what appears to be 6. This may be the end of HUSS just before the top 4.
Great macroing for them to get themselves into the spot, but fell short in that fight in the building. Not sad about that game at all for them, though, as they managed to get a couple of KP nonetheless. As now it comes down to Crazy Thieves, one of the teams we talked about earlier today, are managed to hold a spot, though. Can they make sure not to get pinched as it comes down to top 3?
And can 5-Star convert? They've, again, low KP, been sitting in this building, but it's their game. It's their POI. This is the kingdom of 5-Star against the new, refreshed, terrifying Crazy Thieves and a BRAINROTTING who nearly took game 1. BRAINROTTING already looking at 5-star, two mechanically very talented squads squeezing 5-star for all they're worth, and no altar to get out.
Definitely, TP comes out, looking to reposition potentially to where they're not the ones to need to force that fight initially. 100 Thieves, or Crazy Thieves, not letting it happen. They're looking to see if they can actually stop them from making this play now. However, 5-star on the bottom is making sure that they're the last team to join the frame potentially. What will happen?
This seems like a really smart move at face value, but looks like the Crazy Thieves have identified that you've got to come back up to high ground or you're just going to die to zone way too quickly. In an attempt for 5-star to start a fight between Brainrotting and Crazy Thieves, they've actually left themselves down creek without a paddle. See what Koifel's able to do, just guarding the entrance up, but Brainrotting do actually start the fight. 5-star buying as much time as humanly possible. Let Brainrotting and Crazy Thieves start the fight, but they've got to come in to finish it. They cannot afford to just die to zone. Enemy is down, Crook is 1 HP. The Crazy Thieves have yet to lose one, but a kidnap may go Rosie's way. Up on top, 5-star shooting down from the silo. 5-star have cooked themselves a win in their home POI, and Dark just needs to finish it off. 5-star win game number 2 from the bottom to the top.
I did tell you that they did that TP to make sure they were not the first teams, one of the two teams that have to engage first. Go all the way to the bottom, all the way to the low ground, still made their way up top, on top of the silo, to then close out that game. Beautiful micro decision making from them there to make sure that they're not the team to start the fights and then they close out the game.
It's great to see such a big turnaround as well. 20th place to first place in 2 games. I mean, it is a huge way to turn around a difficult start for 5-star and get themselves some momentum again. Like you talked about, the decision making absolutely there. And against a very experienced squad in Crazy Thieves, there was an answer. The plan was to cut off 5-star. The plan was to keep them from getting to high ground at all, and Crazy Thieves didn't have that time.
I will say though, look at HUSS right there, 13 kill points. One verse I was thinking of is that I would rather be a strong man in an easy time than a weak man in a hard time. And at that point, HUSS was not looking for these fights, they came looking for them. But nonetheless, they were well written, and looking at the way they played out those team fights still panned out for them as they are moving up 8 spots at the moment. But the top is looking really strong, and Brainrotting, a team we did get to see here and there, are looking phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, two good results in a row. Brainrotting not only have the mechanics, as we keep talking about, but they've clearly got the capabilities and the IGLing to get them to end game positions. Something that we love to listen to here on the broadcast. We've caught a couple listen-ins, but that's something you can do at home as well. You've got the opportunity with ALGS Multiview to tune into all of your favorite squads, to draw Nessies if you should so choose, but more importantly, to learn from the best players around the world, and in this particular case, in the Americas, about what makes them so great, so unique. And while you're at it, you can earn a really cute Nessie charm as well.
For anybody that saw that earlier as well with Mon, we saw it every now and then. The cute little ad right there, Sushi Nessie Guntram. I love all of the Nessie merch, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm definitely looking to opt for this.
Yeah, Nessie has absolutely a death grip on my finances, and so any chance to pick up a free Nessie, I am very happy with. This second game, really impressive, of course. Brainrotting, a team that I think we should continue to keep our eyes on. But before we do that, we're going to jump into a quick break before game number 3.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The slaughter is upon us. So it begins.
War mode. First off, I'm here. Second off, everybody shut up. 3 things to make clear. Y'all forgot what's up.
The gun is the tool.
I'm on 5, I'm on top 5. Ain't no 6, man, we all right. I roll a 7 with 2 dots. 8, this beat is 2 stop.
The hunter is the weapon. The gods have spoken. My time is now.
Warriors who on the field, it's time to die. Warriors who on the field, go to the sky. I put the crown on my head, I wear the scars on my chest. Yeah, take all the queens and bishops and knights like we playing chess. Warriors who on the field, go to the sky.
I am Bloodhunder, chosen hunter, beast of slaughter. They will learn my name once more.
Welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series, y'all. America's has been wild. Graceful was even just telling me, you know, running it down like a ranked lobby, jelly, one-man army, chaos.
I mean, the entire 2 matches. At this point, we can no longer say that ranked isn't the most competitive way to practice, because even seeing Brainrotting do so well, Mr. Rosie, one of the people that held rank 1 for quite some time as well, I believe past season, has been doing phenomenal in this lobby. But HUSS, nonetheless, getting engaged spawned by absolutely everybody and still coming out on top. The fighting prowess in America's region, for a reason, having that many spots to land goes to show why they are just absolutely dominating.
Dupe's got a cool chant, man, but Jelly might have one going into land if he keeps that up. I almost said some other things, but honestly, that was super sick. That was super sick to watch. You guys were crushing the cast, and I'm just sitting here with my like stat board up, and I'm just like, is this actually happening? I was getting amped, way too amped for a 9 p.m. on a Friday night to be, you know, but we're just continuing on. We're not even done with Stormpoint yet.
Honestly, Stormpoint is such a great map to have, as well as we're trying to get into our number 3 on Stormpoint before we head over to E-District later on today. But Stormpoint so far has been looking rather chaotic, I would say. We've seen 10 teams circle for a couple of times. Honestly, big shout out to the observers trying to catch all the actions, but at this point it's crazy. 5 teams are falling at the same time. Everybody's taking every single opportunity when they notice that the lobby is thinning out real quick to take more fights, so it's just instigating one another.
Bro, will we have like just absolute ins here on Stormpoint? I mean, look, when you've got Sesame Oil and 5 stars, the 2 teams that have won matches so far, you got Jelly putting up double digits and just absolutely going nuclear. But then you have teams like Team Vision who are outside the top 5. Team Liquid, they're in this lobby. These are all teams that you would think would do pretty good, right? I saw, you know, why can I not think of his name right now? This is gonna sound so bad. Give me 2 seconds, Graceful.
No worries. I'll let you have those 2 seconds. Yes.
Yeah, there it was. God, shh, don't tell him I did this. Anyways, Sykes tweeted out, he's like, oh God, I was so happy to be the anchor for the ENC Americas team, but it was postponed. And I was like, I think you being the anchor might have been the problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Did I just hear that? No, I definitely think that
it's already on the timeline. It's already on the timeline.
I think we have a repetition of what happened in the EMEA as well. When it's too chaotic with Alter and Crypto in play, it makes it so that these teams that are typically standing on head and shoulders above everybody else to have it a little bit more up in the air. But I would say for sure, Americas as a region, using Wraith to the full extent that I've seen from her so far today has been absolutely phenomenal. Whether they're doing it for macro, whether they're doing it for team, like taking fights, or literally just getting KP, we've seen it all today as we saw like 5 TPs unfold on top of HUSS. But one of the teams right here, 5-star, I was talking about them. I got to play a little bit with Dig in that solo queue a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and honestly, his attitude alone just got me to share for him, because we hadn't talked previously to that, maybe met each other in rank, but now after talking to him as well, wow. Great guy.
Well, I watch a lot of Wig too, right? And like even back in the day when Dig was really starting to make a name for himself, not only just because of his hair being absolutely gnarly, but Wig had so many positive things to say about him, and it was really excited about him as a player. So as we look at the map, definitely keep tabs on that roster for teams that are still outside that top 10. Look, if we're going out towards the West and Team Liquid's got Barometer, they're immediately going to be one of my power picks for this game. Free Thinkers, really nice prevalent. You got Geekay, Shopify, not a bad rotation out of Cedo for them, but everyone's full sending already.
Honestly, this zone far all the way out into the west, this might even end on top of that rocky area. I would say rock rather than mountain. I played that in rank a couple of times this season. Not a huge fan. It's such a rough spot to survive as it pulls all the way out there rather than more towards the egg as older zones as we've had in the past. GK Esports, however, finding the fact that the zone is going there immediately makes that move is such a great macro decision.
Yeah, I mean, look, and with Alter and Crypto both banned, Alter going map 1, it did not happen in like that at all. Seer is definitely the most picked legend right now with the 20 team pick rate, so pretty solid that we're going to get him out of this. But for now, I think going out into the open towards the west like this, with what our current legend comps are, the Wraiths everywhere, our Seers, and our Watsons that are going to have to hold down the space with fences and what they can claim for themselves. You talk rocks, people are already setting up there.
That's the thing. The first one to get to hold it down is in that prime. They have that prime real estate to make stuff happen. But one thing they don't have is loot. When you don't, you might have a good spot early on, but when you have triple purple teams running at you with double white, it's going to be very scary. So hopefully they get to poke that up as they have to stay proactive to make sure they don't get caught lacking. Because if they are way too long on whites as other teams start sniffing them out, it's definitely going to be mayhem on top of that rock.
You see Sentinels there at the bottom of the bridge, fenced as well. A bit of a bit caught up, and yikes, that hurts.
ShopifyRebellion looking to showcase why Seer is such devastating. If you get hit by that Q and immediately triple swung, there's really not much you can do.
It's like, yeah, good thing you had a portal there to be able to get back. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get Riley up, but we do get behind the cover and we start to make that. Oh, look at that. See, pop into the portal, get out of the Seer attack, and then you can come back. But everyone's still trying to find their entryway into Shopify Rebellion's tunnel of chaos.
That's the thing. We see Wraith Pace come out everywhere. Everybody's looking to find that small. You give them the finger, they're trying to take the whole arm if they can. Sentinels, one of the teams that a lot of the times people are always talking about. Are they a world-class team? Indeed they are. The consistency they have shown has been phenomenal with the likes of Blinks right there. Blinkster feeling super strong, and Mon and Fun. Probably two of the guys people love the most in the community, I would say. Behind Blinkster right there is obviously such a good roster.
I'll give him some vibes. I love that Mon's going to be doing a cooking stream, collabing with Apex. I was like, we need a Nessie roll. We need all the goodies. That man can cook. And honestly, so can his wifey. She can bake. Oh, God, I see so many good food coming out from them.
Definitely. While they might be cooking dinners and food out there, AG Global looking to cook up this match. They had shown some signs of life across the matches so far. Not really to the degree that we've been hoping out of them, though. Other teams, however, are looking to stay pretty comfortably in the zone right now.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to think about it, right? Like, AG Global, it's 9th overall in the series thus far. Got 6 kills. So they're there, and one good game can turn it around. So far in our series, we're just at the halfway mark. But 5-star already netting themselves a map win and positioning themselves on the south side of where that circle is. They've got the Jenny up, everything's fenced, and now you just kind of have to fend off anyone that looks to steal your spot. They're chilling, honestly, and should be for the next couple of minutes.
Honestly, I think that the last couple of matches right now is going to be played out differently to a very different pace than we've seen so far, with those two characters banned out as well. DINOS currently sitting on 20th. When you're on an edge team, you can still look to fight. It's just not going to be to the same extent to where you're going to get absolutely third-partied, fourth-partied. But BRAINROTTING, the one team that did excel in those chaotic lobbies, are also looking to comply here if they can make something happen, as they are not shying away from a fight.
Oh, Jenny down, and we wait exactly.
Nice.
Open arms. That play onto DINOS is crazy, as BRAINROTTING literally destroys them. One member, one lone dinosaur, trying to escape Jurassic Park. I feel like I've seen this movie 1,000 times.
That's the thing, really. People that don't know about this mechanic right here, or this tech rather, if you place a gen on a started portal, you can actually cancel it. And that's exactly what happened there. It doesn't matter if you're trying to run into that safety off the perk of Wraith to have that safety net. But if there's a Watson nearby, and in this lobby, there's a lot of Watson, that can always happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Watson was the second picked. The numbers are insanely high. We have 18 Watsons, 18 Wraiths in the lobby, and 20 Seers. So we're going to see a lot of same, but different. For now, Sesame Oil looking for the full onto Jay. Gets it. Immediately moves down in. Here comes the Seer attack. Cruel Buckle to follow. And Sesame Oil just pushing straight in to clear it out.
Huge play from Sesame Oil as Buckle Boys once again gets eliminated. On the flip side of things, though, at the eggs right now, Team Vision looking to fight for that egg, or maybe they had the egg previously. Other teams are looking to fight for them underneath right now. They do get the reset as the wall hack is out on absolutely everybody with that Seer. The information alone should be able to push teams off of them.
Yeah, we look down towards the south, but of course towards the north and the Pineapple, we have Team Vision. You good?
That was so scary. They were ready right there, dude. He actually gets out. It's crazy. That's the one where I'm screaming.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine. Loader is totally healthy. Everything is good for Team Vision. We'll live to see another day.
As the zone actually does tend to look, yeah, it's definitely going even further western as well. Zone is essentially central of where the previous zone was showing, and it's going to be fun to see how that plays out. But on the edge, rather, DINOS that made it out alive after losing that poor Dino, lonely Dino on that island, essentially gets the reset and are back in action.
Yeah, at least they moved into Zito Station and have plenty of like space here to hit the full reset and focus on that long game. They've only got 1 point on the board, and this is a team that I feel like is either on top of the day or, you know, just kind of skirting down below. They have plenty of time to turn it around, especially on E District. But when you move over to Storm on your screen, they found some of Unreal Nightmare. Big Louie next to fall. One last player. A little 3v1 situation. The portal coming out from Gary for a nice reposition further in the zone.
Definitely, as well as enemy goes down. BRAINROTTING still looking for even more fights. None other than Jelly shows up the pause as well. While some teams might be shying away from a fight, some people are gladly taking up arms as they are looking to fight back.
You kind of have to, and Sesame Oil has been not scared to take any of these engagements. G7 Scout in hand, just keeping the pressure. Forces out the portal, forces the team to go into hiding, and if we're expending ultimates just to escape a lone Fredster, we, you know, might need that later. For now, Sesame Oil looking pretty good from the edge side, running off HUSS like that. DINOS still in Cedo, BRAINROTTING just ahead of them. But it's a battle of these next couple of teams that have to get into the circle further west. It's going to be a journey.
For a second there, I think everybody was about the same as me and say, is this guy gonna play Longbow Scout? And then they swapped the weapons. Was a good choice for sure. As now they're just making sure to clear out their backs. One of the things I always like to talk about is you need to make sure when you're playing on the edge to clear out your backs to enable for you to only look in one direction, essentially, because if you ended up getting pinched, not worth it at all. And Storm currently in the storm looking for a fight to see if they can make something happen, as Gary gets essentially that first down.
Gary out here with the Prowler doing it work, and just like that, they find yet again. They have been beating down on Unreal Nightmare, causing them to fray off into different positions, and it's just Big Louie on a white. Thank God he at least gets a little bit of the buff there to give him the extra tick to appear as the blue. But we look back towards DINOS, who just recouped from their losses, and DJ immediately falls. Trades go back way, but you've got Jelly down on the ground. The one-man warrior is on the ground.
Huge fight comes out. They keep getting engaged on. They're trying to reposition themselves, but they keep getting shot by everybody. Whether that be from the mountainside or whether that be from Brainrotting running them down or trying to as well. It's going to be tough for them to stay alive.
Cannot thrive in that environment, and the Dinos will join the lobby. HUSS for the reset. Thank God. Send your thank you letters to Brainrotting. They move on in and capitalize with such precise timing. Mr. Rosie is frag central throughout. 2 assists thus far for this game, but I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Brainrotting. Enemy and Crook kind of reuniting from those old Atlanta Premier days, just have the chemistry. You called it out, Mr. Rosie just grinding. We say #1 ranked last split. It is clearly a good mesh for this team, at least for what we're seeing here in day 1.
Yeah, they're definitely making it happen right now. Feeling so comfortable in this lobby. You know, we always like to talk about which teams are going to start hot, which teams are going to start cold, which other team than the ranked team is going to start the hottest in these lobbies, looking as chaotic as they do.
And the teams that are straight running it down have made it so interesting, right? We just keep that action packed, but it's a lot of the teams that I wasn't expecting to be running down these lobbies, right? We still have to talk about the heavy hitters like Team Liquid, Crazy Thieves. And Crazy Thieves, bro, they're in 5th place overall with 22 points. So you can see them just on the outskirts of the circle across from Head Glitch. It's going to be a nice, fun journey down, but I like where Sentinels are positioned still by that bridge. Not in the next circle, of course, but will look to gain space. And Team Liquid, starting from Barometer, should have gave them the best chance to get into God spot for this, right? So, I mean, could be a dub for them. They could convert this.
Definitely 5-star as well. Our previous winners are doing really good. Central Zone. But Dupe on the far edge of things gets a down on enemy to say, hey, you guys might have been fragging out, but I want to join in as well. As AG Niasul, one of the teams we talked about earlier, being kind of in the middle of the pack right now, still looking to make things happen.
Keep it going. Portal down from AG Global here as Yanya repositions, but into the south side of the circle. Plenty of coverage. Jaguaris, plenty of damage comes through, trying to defend, make sure no one chases them down. We are safe for mere moments, but I don't expect this to last. With 17 squads in a non-infinite ammo Kraber, we have to make every bullet count, and that one didn't count.
I will say they have to clear out their backs, but 2 of the teams that are nearby is Freethinkers and Sesame, all as Brainrotting, all on the same side. So many of these teams so comfortable in taking fights, but when you have all of them stacked on the same southeast side, who will come out on top?
Only time will tell. For now, HUSS filtering in through the eastern side. The chaos that's about to ensue from this. They are just going through it. Jelly's getting knocked. He takes a nade to the face, and Blink picks him up with the Nemesis. So your attack has to be vital. Freethinkers have fallen off screen. We've got a couple of boxes to work with. Let's jump back to AG Global, showing their space kind of fenced off. Mr. Rosie across the way. We lose out on enemies, so Brainrotting is down to a duo. And Crazy Thieves have fallen in 16th. HUSS to join them? What?
AG Global as well, though. Southern side managed to wipe out Storm with a hinge between them and Team Liquid. Gets a couple of KP on the board, but the most important thing is they cleared out their back. They now have a way to work their way in. Whether they are going on the north side or the western side is gonna be tough for them regardless. I think northern side looks to be better because left side right there on the western side, Team Liquid is looking to hold out their sides as they are in God spot essentially.
And this is what I was really excited about. Team Vision and Team Darkspire have been poking and prodding. We've already expended both of our Seer ultimates from either team. Zach is down, and it's Loader and Carter. The dynamic duo have been playing so well to have to hold down the fort for Team Vision. Low health, forcing them back through the portals. We're fencing it off and everything, but it's not like we have the quick res onto Zach unless we can get to his death box, hit 7 seconds, and get our IGL back. For now, it's just the banner. We'll worry about that later. You do still have a couple of teams like Full 11 on the horizon, so we can't break out in fights. And Brainrotting not surviving the open water.
Full 11 lurking on the northern side. Team Liquid gets to wipe out Brainrotting. As right now, Sentinels, one of the teams we talked about initially, have been playing really small for the longest of time this match, are looking to finally break out, hopefully, as the team has been cleared out.
All right, we're Sentinels jumping on board them. We've been talking about how they operated from the bridge. They've rotated in. We've got a couple of rocks for coverage. But Team Liquid, who's been popping up in the kill feed, who was on the south side of the circle, has been evicted as AG Global have moved in to take their spot. AG Global, who have their backs cleared, who are looking great. But now it's about the teams from the north through open water rotations with no coverage.
Fights break out all over the map right now as the zone is closing, fully closed in 20 seconds right now. Full 11 managed to wipe out Team Vision. Team Darkspire opted to rotate in a little bit earlier, managed to find themselves a spot, but can they hold on to this? Everybody's fighting for their dear life, and ShopifyRebellion is looking to poke at them.
Team Vision's out, and now we've got Team Darkspire running it down to ShopifyRebellion. Zap on the ground, but all of the damage that they have been getting thrown at, you have to keep an eye on your back. Whoever that is definitely making this engagement difficult. For now, the Jenny is okay. Shopify should get Zap back up on their feet, but we are not safe here in just under a minute. We have got to get even further south, and we are stuck.
AG Global managed to take the spot from Team Liquid. However, on the flip side of things right here, we see Riley fighting as well as 3 teams. It's a stalemate. Who's gonna make the first move and who's gonna 3P essentially, as Darkspire also got pinched by Geekay Esports with that Wraith TP. Now looking really grim for them, coming down to the last brink of HP.
Difficult. It is. I will say Geekay did finish off full 11 in the north. Geekay has invested 1 player to clear out everyone, hitting the rotations. Riley still extending out to put the damage straight forward if we can. Head glitch making the long distance work there thanks to the triple take. Send Darkspire back to the lobby, and now they can focus the last 18 seconds or so to rotate. Still not clear behind them.
It's gonna be tough. Even if you're fighting for the tunnel potentially against ShopifyRebellion here, you're gonna have 2 teams above you. The likes of Geekay Esports, W Press are always looking to make plays, and if the top fight don't work, they might just 3P the bottom fight at that point. Sentinels, however, although playing small and being quiet the whole game, are forced to move right now, and the team they're forced to move into is AG Global.
Yeah, I mean, AG Global's just been holding a campfire down there in the south ever since taking down Team Liquid, but keep your eyes on Sentinels also on the move from the eastern side of things. As everyone traverses from the north to the south, we lose out on Head Glitch because ShopifyRebellion finally gets an angle onto them, gets even more kills, and Sentinels begin the mountain goat climb that they potentially can. To the top we go.
They managed to make their way out. Cyril comes out just to make sure what happens. They get a down or maybe a fin on the other side of the mountain to see if they got any playable areas, as several teams have already cooped up. They scout out the team underneath right there as 2 of the teammates fall. Gonna end up in a pinch. His fans is everywhere. Cyril's everywhere. They hear the TP. He comes down to Blinkster solo riding right now. He is in the zone, but will he get found?
Hopefully he can grab a bit more placement points, but to Geekay now with floating. Knocked and dropped, looking to break inside the top 10 as Sentinels is found out. The solo blink out of the lobby, into the top 4 we go. But I'm really excited about this. From on height through the rocks, you've got plenty of space. We're just looking for those angles. But this is a really peculiar endgame.
We talked about roster as well, and I think floating is the second example of a player that used to be up and coming, really shining through, making his place as much as he can on that roster as well, with the likes of Drops, who's been a veteran for the longest of times, making plays happen. They've been here quite early, and as long as they can close out this game from absolute height, they're looking really good. But it's not an easy match for sure, because AG Global has shown nothing but signs of stopping.
Well, Kraber, we were talking about making every bullet count. You got 5 for this end game and already 2 kills. AG Global is going to need to rip the players off height. Oh, 150, not quite a knock, but a really nice clean shot.
Great shot, but now the fact that everybody is notified that there is indeed a Kraber in play. Never mind the fact that everybody has fully decked out SMG's triple purple armor. Zone ends a little bit more towards AG Global. It does end up on top, so whoever wins up top should be in a fairly good spot as well if the bottom fights. But if no fights happen from the bottom, they get the 3P for free.
Now it's all about seer tacking and getting information before the ring starts to collapse. You can see 5-star down below. We're even throwing exhibits. For now, it's prolonging. But a 3-man Geekay could be the final bosses of this lobby. They've keeping things fenced out, denying people any chance to get up here on the ultimate height. Oh, forces him back to recover.
Nice TP from ShopifyRebellion, getting out of that tunnel to get a spot where the zone is actually closing towards Geekay Esports, still holding up on high. Doesn't want to be the first team to make their move as they are poking down on everybody beneath them. 5-star gets eliminated. They have seen AG Global, but who is forced to take that high ground and fight for top first? Will they make their way up with a TP potentially? We've seen that throughout the whole game right now as the evac comes out.
Well, good little shout here. ShopifyRebellion, Geekay, and AG Global, your top 3 teams here in match number 3. And it's all about your resources. You're watching our sectioned off our fences, the chaos, but the portal play for the high ground, and AG Global gets up there. Down they go, straight onto Geekay. Floating, goes into the void alongside Noct, who's just trying to survive, and Shopify in with the third party. Shopify win?
ShopifyRebellion closes out that match right there. We saw lights from Geekay Esports, but the one who remains at the top, ShopifyRebellion, with that clutch TP play, and then ended up playing from the side where the zone was closing towards. Managed to 3P the last fight essentially, but I will have you look as well. If you missed that, just for that short period that we saw, AG Global made a TP on top of the rock above them. If they managed to stay on that small cliff, they could have potentially won the whole thing, but eventually they fell off and then they got pinched. But the TP plays out of this region are crazy. Like, absolutely the highest level of Wraith I've ever seen across the history of Apex.
I've been really enjoying like the high crazy Wraith plays for sure, but when you step back and you got that in the free cam, right, just showing the levels and the placements of all of those players through the rocks, ShopifyRebellion to walk away with 11 KP from that and a 23-point game win, that's pretty dang good. Geekay, who get on top of the rocks pretty early on in that match, grabbed 6 kills, so not too bad. AG Global, after wiping Team Liquid to take the south side, walk into a top 3 finish, but then Team Liquid they took out go out in 12th. That one kind of hurts.
Bro, why is HUSS still on 6 kills again? They're getting engaged on by absolutely the whole lobby. They don't have a time to rest, and they still keep getting these KP. Honestly, 6 KP per match is still really, really solid. They moved up 2 slots regardless, yeah. And they're top 3 right now. Even though they never wanted any of these fights. They just keep happening to them, but they keep coming out on top. So, hey man, they're staying consistent in the team fighting nonetheless.
Yo, if HUSS win a map, they're in first place 1000% after that. But we just need to see some craziness out of E District for them. Sesame Oil, your match 1 winners, kind of slide there to the 4th, and ShopifyRebellion go up 13 positions after that win to break into the top 5, which is kind of nice to see considering how much we talked about ShopifyRebellion on our top of show.
Yeah, most definitely. And also now as we're moving on to the next map later on, will that showcase the same things we saw in the other regions where some teams might just be bad for the day on a map and they might wake up for the next part of the map? I'm looking specifically at Team Liquid as an example, was having a little bit of a tough time there.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance did over in EMEA, and they came out to win the entire day 1. So only time will tell. You got to get through E District and the chaos that we've been witnessing. But of course, all that's going to come after this break.
Sony InZone, the official audio and monitor partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Red Bull gives you wings.
We are going to be making the Nessie gun charm on a larger scale, on a big version. Look at how cute and delicious she looks. That's awesome. And this is earned by watching 1 hour of ALGS Split 2 Pro League, which starts on the 21st. Did you work in kitchens before you realize you're an Apex demon? I've been cooking for over 20 years. Love it. Dude, shout out my cooks in chat. All right, here we go. Dude, no way. That's crazy. It's the year 5 trophy, the championship trophy. Haha, that's crazy. Who would have thought, huh? This was definitely the hardest part. Aha, she has a neck. Oh yeah, isn't this funny? Woohoo! It's a whole sushi Nessie platter. You like that? Look at that thing. Very, very nice. Her head. Dead. I think I miscalculated the size of the body of the Nessie and the thickness of the neck. I think that the neck was too thick, the weight or the balance was bad. But that's okay, guys, because I am a professional Apex player.
We're back to the day one of ALGS over here in Americas. Y'all, it's getting late, but the action is staying hot. And honestly, I had some fun on Stormpoint. We got Jumba back, Dia, Graceful, the whole crew to break some things down about what's been happening. More in particular, Jumba, you've been lying in wait. You've got some predictions. You've got some hot takes. I need to hear them.
Yeah, so you know what? First, I want to talk Sentinels. And what I want to talk about is this is a time in Apex I'm hearing everyone say it's the hardest time to ever be consistent. And I'm not going to lie, I actually agree somewhat. It is very tricky. However, Sentinels is just proving that themselves. They won the Year 5 champs and they just got third at the recent LAN. They are a hard zone team. They're one of the fastest rotating teams. And then when they get there, they got Fun and Monsoon, who are just demons with any sort of sniper. And Blinkster does Blinkster stuff, running around, getting kills on Wraith and everything like that. It's actually a nerve if Wraith gets banned in this next game for him. And so with that, the place they elevate the most, match point. Their last 4 match points have been 3rd, 1st, and 4th. They elevate the most in the most important day, and I think they're slept on because in like Pro League and everything like that, they're kind of mid-pack. Doesn't matter. The day that matters the most is that match point final. And they're the team showing consistency is still possible in Apex.
I'm just gonna go out here because Grace and I were talking about this in game 1. Does anybody disagree that Sentinels is at least in the top 3 teams in the world? Just raise your hand. Anybody? I'm gonna give you 3 seconds.
Top 3? You know, I mean,
they're top 3 team in the world.
Am I agreeing or disagreeing with the hand raise? Is this agree?
The hand raise is a disagree.
Oh, I'll put it down. I'm a big fan of Fireman Fred, Monsoon,
Okay, cool.
Blinkster.
We all agree. I think this is like slam dunk levels. I think especially for competitive Apex viewers, I think the difficulty here is that people are so used to sleeping on Fun and Monsoon because they were around for so long before winning anything. And Blinkster is, I think to a lot of people, kind of come out of nowhere because he was around before that as well and farming in some of the Canadian tournaments, but ultimately kind of quiet. It's very weird to see this transition, but Jumba, I think you're right, and I think a lot of comp Apex fans would agree with you. The difference that we're seeing is people who don't watch a lot of comp Apex and tune in for the big tournaments, they come in and they're like, who are these Sentinels guys? And we're like, that's the best team.
I think you should frame that or clip that and like always have that where Dia says, I think you're right. And then we go into your next thought, right? Because you were telling me that you had some hot take, hot prediction, but you wouldn't tell me what it was. But we got Team Liquid up here and I'm scared now.
Look, and I know you guys were just talking about them having a rough day, maybe similar to Alliance, maybe they pick it up in the second half. My take is that this is my team to win Split 2 Pro League. This is a team that they started off a little bit slow at the beginning of last split, but they got better and better as the split went. We saw them have an amazing group stage at the LAN, and I don't think that 9th is indicative of what their performance was. Even in that finals, they had opportunities to win. It was just a really tough final. So I think they've only climbed up and up. They're peaking at the right time. All three of these players qualified for ENC on their own, by the way, which is just a huge accomplishment, especially in the Americas. It was very difficult. And with how good they've been, the track record of 0, Sykes is, I think, the best anchor in the world right now. This is my team to win this split. They're the one that I got my eyes on the most.
Look, Sykes thinks I hate him, but I completely agree with you. I've been a champion of them. We spent some time in the interview room in Paris, and honestly, they've got good vibes. But Graceful, you got any quick moments before we jump into the next match on them?
I mean, having seen Zero, in my eyes, return to his old form is enough for me to say that he's always in contention of potentially winning everything. So I agree with that take for sure.
I think he's got it 100%, guys. But I hear that we have E-District on the horizon. So I want to hear and see all of the momentum for the teams that are outside the top 10. Moving on up. Dia, Grace, back to you guys.
All right, All-Father. Hear my prayer. We're moving on to E-District. Praise the All-Father. May Dinos and Liquid turn around their day because, oh my God, 18th and 20th is going to have Jumba and I in shambles at the end of it. I don't know what magic Bloodhound is conjuring, but I need it right now, Grace.
I don't know. I think the All-Fighter might have blessed some people and might have cursed some people. I'm looking at HUSS specifically because they have had mayhem after mayhem every single game, getting engaged on by like 5 teams, somehow making it up with a couple of KPs. But so far, though, E-District should be slowing down. The pace did slow down definitely for that third match, as we saw as well. More teams alive later on in the match, even though on a part of a map that is harder to stay alive as well. So if anything, this is an indicator for the teams that are not used to that chaotic pace to show up better.
Oh, I feel like I'm both winning and losing looking at this POI draft because Vision have picked probably the weakest POI you could possibly go with, in my opinion. Old Town, last pick for a reason. But at the same time, I know that Dinos feel really comfortable on Energy Bank. They prioritize this above almost anything else, and getting E-Bank for them is going to be really nice, really flexible POI. So I'm winning and I'm losing because I love seeing Dinos succeed, but I am also a Zach Mazer stan, and I don't think I'm going to get both here, Grace.
Honestly, I think that POIs over time in Apex, as it has evolved, is completely fine. I feel like most of the POIs are playable to where you always get to play your game. Back in the day when we didn't have we didn't have proper armors, we didn't have enough loot, you always heard the old tales of I need light ammo from HAL. That is completely gone now when we have infinite ammo, when you have easier ways to obtain loot, when you have more utility, when you have unlimited, well, you have overflow and you have unlimited bats. That's not the same case anymore. I think POIs in general, while they might be harder in some cases, I think it's still fine. I don't think anybody is sad about anything specifically because you can always make plays happen.
Yeah, I mean, specifically one of the issues that I've had with Old Town is that I think it's really just easy to get griefed by other teams around you because positioning of the POIs matters so much more. It's the same reason why Dinos love E-Bank so much. And not only did they play it through all of their CCs and PLQs, but you know, it's a flexible POI that can get you anywhere. The opposite is true of Old Town because it's on the edge of the map, because it's so close to Humbert, because full 11 can rotate over so easily and you share a lot of evos as well. It's an extremely risky position. I hear what you're saying about how the POI's loot does not matter nearly as much, about that disparity sort of being erased over time, but it's really emphasized a lot of the positioning relative to other teams that the POIs bring.
I think one thing we have to keep in mind as well is also the time when you are playing the map as well. I would have agreed with you if we're talking match 1, 2, 3, especially when you have Crypto and Alter in the first 2 games as well. It becomes a lot more hectic when you have teams nearby that are aggressive. But at this point right now, when so many legends are banned out that are enabling that aggressiveness, I think it becomes even easier at that point, because at that, as long as you have an evac or if you have another play or keep track of macro, as we keep hearing from people when we go listening to them, they know each other's macros. As long as they can track each other, they should realistically be able to avoid some teams, although some teams might be running you down. But if that's the case, if you have high ground, you at least can fight back.
Yeah, while we are getting the lobby ready for our teams, we'll talk a little bit about Zainu, the player that we were focused on, the team that we were focused on at the start of the day. Because Zainu, didn't just get a win, he also got a level up. 21 as of yesterday. So, very excited to see Zainu achieve another journey round the sun, and even more importantly, get a win on the board during today's matches.
Definitely happy belated birthday to him indeed, and also the fact that we saw the tweet earlier today where he was happy to have Sauce lead the row as well. And I think a lot of people, especially people that have had the chance to IGL a team, is so happy and thankful for other teams moving and taking on that mantle essentially, because you know what they've been going through. You've been in their shoes and you get to respect that even so much more. But even then, they are pulling out numbers right now with that match day one performance so far looking so good.
I know that we have to pick our interview later, but it would really be interesting to have an interview with Zainu. I'm just thinking about it now, thinking ahead. Even if Shopify don't win, hearing about the fact that they got a good first couple of maps, specifically on Stormpoint, finishing that one off with a win, but then also about the difference from IGLing to not IGLing, how he feels that's impacting his game, because that transition is always such an interesting one. I was talking with Rondon about that transition earlier, about his journey to co-IGLing. We heard so much about it from Hal when he went from IGLing to then moving and playing under Zero as a fragger, and now back to IGLing. The journey of a player and like how they relate to IGLing. Nasky, another great example of a player who we've gotten those same thoughts from over the last year. Really different relationship to that position, to the control that it has, but also to the burden that comes with IGLing for each player. So fingers crossed we get to talk to Zainu soon. Might not be today, might be a day in the future. Maybe we talk to him between weeks and I send you guys a few audio clips. Who knows?
I mean, I also got that opportunity to play both from having IGL for several years and then also playing as a fragger essentially under IG when I played with Cam and JMW as well. So I've had that as well, and I think honestly at some point it's not the retirement meme, but it's kind of the meme of an IGL burns out and they're like, I'm just gonna frag, because they don't want to make the decisions anymore. So they're just happy to be able to shoot their gun and not think nearly as much, because sometimes people just have to try things out and see what actually went wrong if you can't pinpoint what was the issue. Was the issue just the IGLing, the macro, the decision making? Was I not proactive enough? And I think it's really good and important, even as Zainu as well was happy to step back for the moment, to at least figure things out if you're in the most ideal role. Because who knows, maybe you were a good IGL, but you were the god tier anchor. Like, I think it's good to at least explore to some bit, which is why I always say you should be filling in, you should be subbing for rosters in scrims. If your team has a day off, you should always be looking to fill. I always like to fill, even in other regions. I like to fill in NA from Europe, so I normally play 3 scrim blocks a day. Always so good, because you get to feel different dynamics, you actually get to fill on different roles, and that's the only best way to improve as an individual player, I think.
Yeah, especially because when we approach LANs, you have relationships with those teams as well. They're excited about playing with you. Phony, we saw him. He's another guy that will just go out and play scrims for the love of the game, even when his team is unable to. And we saw that pay off in a big way when he had multiple opportunities at LAN, first with Genji, then with ShopifyRebellion, to sub in and play despite his team not qualifying. Jen Burton joining him in that with the opportunity to play for Genji. Did ultimately get cut out because they got their visas in time, and we were all very glad to see them. However, that chance to attend LAN does not only get granted to our players, it is granted to you, because we've got our tickets on sale very soon for our ALGS Championship this year back in Sapporo, a city that I got the chance to stay in a little bit longer this week. And while I didn't actually write up a travel vlog because I thought I'll do that, and then I did not finish writing it. Man, there are so many activities that I could recommend around Sapporo. So absolutely, come join us for the ALGS. And I would encourage you to stay, because Sapporo is an amazing section of Japan that unfortunately doesn't get nearly as much media attention as it should. But oh my God, I am over the moon at the idea of going back there.
Should I get the opportunity to return, not for the second time, but the third time actually, I just keep finding stuff and activities to do for sure. But one thing I do like the most is the fact that we're all gathering for Apex. And what else here than AG Global, that I have been talking about today as well, played phenomenally throughout the day, making sure to clear out their backs and taking fights forward over and over again. Actually, I don't even get how they wiped Team Liquid in Godspot essentially. How did they cross that? Probably just a Wraith TP into a fight, but the fact that they can keep taking fights and coming out on top is crazy.
I'm speaking of, by the way, players that are super dedicated and who will just fill in for scrims for the love of the game. I got the chance to talk to AEG's coach and amigo before the games today, and he is a guy who is playing Challenger Circuits, who's coaching a bunch of Latin American players right now as they try and make their way up to Challenger Circuit Pro League, and also coaching a roster at the top level. And a big thing that he said was that AG is trying something this split that is a little bit of a move back towards their old identity. For a while, he has been reining in the squad to be a little bit more risk averse, and we really saw that come to fruition during this LAN where they had their best group stage in years as a trio. But now, coming out of LAN, they're going, okay, we need to introduce a little bit more of what we had before. Yes, eliminating mistakes is good, but we also need these explosive games. And we almost saw AG have that. A very risk-free and yet powerful game from them in the third round of today. Let's see what they can do in the fourth, as on E-District, we are going to be going towards the south, towards Street Market, right on top of W Press, and pretty darn close to full 11 as well. A lot of ring consoles down in the south side of the map. Unreal Nightmare have already got their read as well, so early spots all going to be claimed, you'd imagine, because there's a lot of information around this POI.
Not only information, but you saw the triple, actually quadruple blue marker on that map right there. It means evacing. All of these teams are so fast at rotating, reading that map, making sure that they get a spot in the potential zone pool. And we've seen so far, though, a lot of these teams have predicted the zone really, really well. So if they can keep that up, at some point, if you make yourself into enough late games, one of them is going to swing your way and you're going to have a huge game.
Timing looks right. Again, talking to DINOS about their approach to Energy Bank, it looks like they are going for the short loop path that they had talked about earlier. They are leaving a little bit later than they would normally like, as Sentinels, they are normally right behind them, and Sentinels look to have about a 20-second lead. ShopifyRebellion causing a few problems, though, as they are right on DINO's tail. This whole center of the map does have to work like clockwork, relies on teams knowing each other and their timings, because it can get very crowded. It looks like for now, DINOS, ShopifyRebellion, and Sentinels have been able to avoid conflict.
Most definitely, as Unreal Nightmare setting up the building as well. All of these teams are feeling happy that they made it somewhere deep into the zone. Once again, it comes down to a question of which side is it going to pull on. Is it going to pull more towards the southern side, or is it actually going to pull back quite a bit into Street Market side? And depending on which way it goes, they're going to have to make some adjusting. But this map, nonetheless, has a lot of options for them to make these plays, especially with the likes of Wraith at the disposal. I think America's region so far has been utilizing Wraith to the utmost perfection, honestly, throughout every team, whether that be for fighting, micro-positioning, or just straight up TPing past people for something else. It's been joyous to watch this, honestly.
Makes me wonder. Let me check. Our most picked legend in this game, Mad Maggie. So Wraith actually is going to survive another game, and with the Maggie ban as well, we might be staring down the barrel of some baby comps coming at us, because once Mad Maggie is out, Gibby becomes a very attractive pick, the speedster on the map.
Honestly, we can't even call Gibby the bubbler, the bubbly, the guy with the shotgun anymore. He's just a speed demon at this point, and it's so much fun to see these teams pull him out. But at the end of the day, they're still playing the same way as we used to play Gibby back in the day, where you're just Valculting in for a spot and then bunkering up. Whether you're bunkering with Gibby Caustic or you're bunkering with Gibby Newcastle, the most likely take there. It's still the same playstyle, but I always enjoy seeing it.
Team Darkspire playing down around this Evo Harvester can keep other teams off of it, but their real focus is going to be on finding a comfortable spot in zone, because this is not it. Being pushed around the outside of the map, Team Darkspire do have the tools to break open a composition with things like the Mad Maggie and Wraith to close the distance, but not exactly where they would have wanted to be this early into the game. Bit of an awkward way to say early. We are still around that first ring close timing, which at this point is where you've got yourself set up with a game plan for most squads. BRAINROTTING going to be playing Edge. We're just now moving through E-Bank, and Geekay with a bit of a hybrid approach to this game.
I will say, though, that Team Darkspire is actually one of the teams that I feel like have been in contention for fighting for good spots, but not coming out on top. So that really shows that they have the right mindset and perspective on which fights to take, and they're just not winning them. honestly, when you're going back to VOD reviewing that, you're pretty much going, are we fighting for the right spots? Yes. Okay, we lost the fight. Why have we lost? So there's really not much to take up on except trying to refight that. And when you have back-to-back 3 days in a row, how much realistically can you improve in fighting prowess over the span of a couple of hours between the match days, essentially, or half a day rather? Like, how much can they actually change things up to let them get ahead of the time? Because they are in good spots, but they're not being able to clear out their bags.
Yeah, it's got to be simple mistakes, because if it's anything complicated, if it's anything about how you're relating to each other, communicating together, working to swing angles, things that require practice to deal with, that's where the weekend is going to turn into something really punishing. And actually, now that I think about it, I'll bring this up a little bit later. I have another point about dinos that I'm going to need to make, but right now, HUSS inheriting yet another fight that they didn't ask for, but they'll absolutely take. Take out Free Thinkers, dealing another Red Bull first strike to the map. HUSS, they just can't stop winning, and they would like to.
Honestly, I need to go and VOD review them later and just hear their comps. If they're like, at the end of the series, they're like, I don't know how, like, if they win this whole series, they're like, I don't even know how we won. Everybody's fighting us and we're just winning. It's so much fun to see. But right now, something that's fun to see, AG Global looking to actually just mop the whole team as they come in, I guess.
Looking like it'll be a clean finish. Mellow, low, cracked, and unfortunately without a lot of cover. Yanya is tanking basically an entire riot drill to make this kill happen, but happen it should, as Head Glitch will be our second squad eliminated. AG making that a very clean and fast fight. A good thing too, as BRAINROTTING is right next to them.
Definitely, as Team Darkspire, once again, I told you, they were in a great spot in terms of where on the zone they are, but they just can't close out any fights. They fall to Buckle Boys, who also have been struggling, meaning that two teams that don't have that many points right now are kind of taking out points out of the equation. So how far is the overall leaderboard going to get moved in one direction as well? We'll have to see.
Buckle Boys may be able to stick a reset right now. Geekay not going to negative push into them, but maybe having to deal with Team Vision will change that, as Team Vision make their rotate in through zone, and Cruel Buckle's unable to stop it on his own. Has to give up a lot of space. Team Vision get to claim it, and Carter on the Wraith and even make his way into this building where it looks like Team Vision have already started the fight. Carter's just here to help finish it.
Definitely Team Vision coming in from the south end side of things. We were talking about them maybe potentially not being able to do these macro decisions, but the lobby plays out a lot more mellow in this point because there's still so many teams alive. I wouldn't say too many, but enough to where they're comfortably taking these isolated fights now, with the likes of Seer gone as well. Makes it so much less ability based and so much more gun based. And when we're talking about gun based, Loader and Carter and Zac alone are more than enough to wipe teams.
Unreal Nightmare sitting underneath this building right now. Nano's already knocked. We're picking him up. Should be doable. Nano, another player that you can really never count out of the ALGS. He's made it to lands and done very, very well in them. Sesame Oil, a team that would really like to get there. Well, we've seen some of them in the open. Actually getting to the land, especially the championship in Sapporo with Split 2 playoffs lying ahead of them right now. Would be a really big achievement, a career achievement for them, and a landmark. We'll see if they are able to do it along with Storm. We're resetting just now, 16 squads left. Zone's gonna close in about a minute. So there's a lot of teams are looking for resets, are just balancing on the precipice of being eliminated. This zone close is gonna be the thing that actually cuts this lobby. Not in half, but by a fair bit.
Huge car spray from Kenzo's right there stabilizes the situation to where they can't get completely engaged on Team Liquid, one of the teams we talked about as well, currently in a fight. The team that has the potential to win anything at this moment, currently trying to win a fight as they get some opener right here. Zero with that Prowler. Panic cleans up 2 downs as well, and they're stabilizing for the moment.
Really clean play with the Prowler and with his team. Team Liquid Have the hardlight reinforced as well, making it extremely difficult to siege this building. Taking control of the roof seems to be the plan. Is that a real nightmare? Still playing the bottom floor. Do get to coexist for now. Zero, though, notoriously an IGL who hates coexisting and is likely going to go for the aggressive play. And here it goes. Portal down onto the bottom floor. Unreal Nightmare. Their time is not infinite.
Definitely. Liquid managed to get a couple of KP on the board and also managed to stabilize. Actually, don't get any KP on the board. They got the dance, but they got the full reset, actually. Still looking to fight for their house right now. Comes down to Nano, downing 0 for the moment. Another fight breaks out, though, between HUSS. Once again, it's in a fight. First down goes to Deed. Second one almost goes to Dupe for the moment. Jelly is trying to stabilize with that phase, getting out of the spot to see if they can reset across that on the opposite side of the zone. This zone doesn't hurt just yet, Thea. You know I always call this in when we play ranked together. Zone does not hurt, just heal. They're looking for that reset as they get that down on Dupe again.
With DINOS having picked J Future back up, looks like they may finally be the ones to kill the unkillable. With Team Liquid finding a respawn, does look like DINOS are going to chill for right now. HUSS get to live another day, another fight that they did not choose, but at least will not take them out of the lobby. And DINOS retreat back, perhaps getting their first good game of the day, having survived this far, further than they have in the last two. HUSS get their respawn. Dupe almost surely going to be full thirsted here, as the ring will do that for DINOS. DINOS are chilling with a couple of KP under their belt. Maybe this whole E-District, E-Bank thing is going to work out after all.
Definitely gonna have to work for it, though. 4 points overall on the leaderboard right now, and this is match 40. You know how I like to talk about the fact that you have a couple of games to get warmed up. Now they need to pretty much win back-to-back if they want to make a really big splash on that leaderboard. But we're gonna have to see if they can pull that off, as AG Global right now doing the same thing, where they're always clearing out their backs before they work their way forwards. But that team in the back is none less than HUSS.
The duo of HUSS. So this should be an easy fight to clean up. We'll take a listen in with AG Global to see how they approach it, and then what they do after.
Remátalo si puedes. ¿Qué onda? Agárrale acá. Porque había un tipo en el cuartito que estaba. Te buscamos al dúo, güey. ¿Lo podemos buscar al dúo?
Yo jalo, mover izquierda,
Incluso a lo mejor
que
solo acá,
que nada más vi Watson. Vi Watson y Goles nada más. Voy con ustedes,
Debe estar rateando, güey.
Sí. Para mí está en una de las tiendas de la izquierda, güey. Igual.
Yo lo escuché como la mía, güey, pero...
A ver con ustedes. Ven. Va a ver a mi tiempo, joder. ¿Estás solo tú ya?
Yo estoy.
Se escucha aquí, güey.
Ok.
A lo mejor aquí conmigo, abajo.
Sí. Va a tratar. Qué buena. Agarra favor.
Tengo globo, güey. Consigo globo, por si quieres hacer una de doble.
Yo tengo.
It took him a while to find the last member of HUSS. Not an easy squad to kill, but AG Global do work together to make it happen. Second right now, and the extra kill point is going to get them that much further towards claiming first on the day. This being our fourth game, and only 2 left. A lead here could be a series-defining one. Team Liquid hoping that they get that opportunity as well, because Team Liquid, in a very different way than AG Global, need this game.
This is one of those moments where it reminds me of when I used IGL as well. Sierra right now standing on that balcony, scouting out where are we going to play when the next zone is moving, because they might be in here, but they're definitely not comfortable. They're looking to play anywhere where they can play earlier, as everybody's just pinging around the map where is playable. Ping where you see anywhere is playable, and they're looking to opt to pre-plan their next move.
This next ring, I want to think about whether it is a difficult adaptation or not. I think for a lot of squads, it's not going to come as a big surprise, but still going to force a lot of teams out of their buildings, which is an important change to the lobby, as Crook is finding a couple of knocks with the Kraber. We've got one of these in play, and that can change quite a bit. AG Global working on their approach to the next zone as well. Wraith, such a critical tool for all of our squads.
As Team Liquid is trying to TP somewhere right now. Teams underneath them, however, are looking to fight. Storm gets absolutely eliminated as Liquid opts for the move, for the positioning instead. Sykes places that Watson fence. Great positioning right now as they're trying to set up, as they are just looking at the teams behind them.
Team Liquid and DINOS both needed the game. Only one of them is going to get it if Panic has his way. Firing down at DINOS, but actually being distracted by BRAINROTTING. Crazy Thieves go out, 13 squads left. And Team Liquid on these stairs have one of the best spots in zone. Got to be very careful about who's able to look at them. Cannot overextend. But if they keep their heads safe, Team Liquid could very easily find a win.
Indeed, but what just went on over there? DJ goes down to the ring, but gets reset properly. They're gonna have to play down below and hope that something happens above to where they can make a play as well. Geekay Esports, so one of the teams that we tend to see in endgame spots quite a lot, has lost 2 players right now. It comes down to knocked on 1 HP and some shield. It's definitely gonna be tough for them to recover.
ShopifyRebellion out as well after winning the last game, going down in 12th. AG Global dealt a serious blow as well, having lost Neazul, but recoverable he is. Yanya hopefully able to pull off the res here. However, their risk-averse playstyle not going to work nearly as well when they've expended a portal just as the zone starts closing. That's their way back into the ring. And that tool missing means that they've got to walk it in, take the fights ahead of them. There's no dodging them this time.
No dodging indeed, but when it comes down to throwing hands, they're one of the better teams to do it. AG Global walking in slowly with the zone as they hear the teams above fight, but they're getting shot from their front as well. Can they stabilize right here before the teams have to drop on them? As we see Charmander up top is trying to do something happen, but on the bridge right now, TPs are coming out. AG Global gets to walk in for free because everybody opted to go past them.
And this Kraber is trained directly on the high ground above them as well. BRAINROTTING have just been firing with the Kraber straight down the bridge. Yanya looking like he's just going to portal all over the action. He's going to get knocked on the other side. He goes straight into Team Liquid and AG Global into the electric meat grinder that is a Liquid who need the win. With AG Global out, we are down to 7 squads. This next zone, the final zone, closing in under a minute, and a Sentinels down as well.
That repositioning from Liquid earlier really panned out for them, but BRAINROTTING showing no signs of slowing down. Currently fragging out 5 KP for this match alone, 45 points overall, still fragging. These guys might just be the masters of ranked lobbies because currently they are fragging out.
And they are making this lobby play to their pace as well. You see a lot of teams playing other squads games. When we get to this high level, it gets really intimidating, and you end up playing at everyone else's pace. But you can tell BRAINROTTING are making this lobby move at theirs, and that is a terrifying thing to deal with, especially as Team Liquid are next in BRAINROTTING's path. Team Vision even firing over at the side of Team Liquid, but really to finish off the Unreal Nightmare squad that they've already taken a chunk out of.
Vision or Loader managed to thirst out Nano at that point, clearing out their side slowly but surely, but the team that is right next to them is BRAINROTTING as well. Team Liquid gets to play from the other side to potentially 3P whatever fights ends up happening on top of this bridge, but we can't count out Unreal Nightmare just yet. Even though they might have lost a member, a duo is still more than possible to 3P anything.
We said it earlier though, that if Team Liquid watch their heads, they've got a game-winning spot. And right now, their job is just to control who's able to approach them on the high ground, because when this game is closing, it is ending right on top of Team Liquid. I like the proactive position from Zero. We do still have to be careful, though, about the Kraber in this lobby and about BRAINROTTING, who have manipulated this lobby to an insane degree so far. Will their TP be canceled? It will not. Mr. Rosie manages to survive, and BRAINROTTING behind Team Liquid have an Arc Star behind this truck, and no way to survive. Enemy sitting behind it. This is going to be the last one standing as Team Liquid watch the fight go down. Unreal Nightmare and BRAINROTTING will die at the same time, and it leaves just Vision and Team Liquid. Zero aggressive angle over the truck. He climbs right on top of Vision, and it's he and Panic against the last remaining member. Can Carter 1v2 for the win? Can he 1v1 for the win? Carter goes for the swing, but Zero clutches it up in the last instant, and Liquid, the hungry winners of Game 4.
Zero manages to clutch that. People might remember something from the LAN, but he's saying here's what you should be remembering. Me clutching up this win on match number 4 as Team Liquid takes home that win. And I would like to say as well, when they were stuck in that building with the other teams, Zero was scouting absolutely everywhere, pinpointed where we needed to play. Even though they were fighting and they could potentially go for KP and more loot, he says, heck no, we're going for our macro decision right now. Goes there, that's the game-winning spot, holds out everybody and closes out that fight. That was beautiful play from them.
Yeah, great decision making, calm under pressure, and that is despite a terrible day so far for Team Liquid. Coming into this game, they were 18th, but finding a win here, not to go too far, but it reminds me of Alliance, a 23-point finish with their first game on E-District. We've already seen Alliance in EMEA double up and completely reverse their fortunes. Team Liquid take the first step along that road.
Definitely. And I think also seeing HUSS with 3 kills makes me really happy, but we definitely need some help with that to break something down that has happened. So many things that we probably missed out on as well. And who else but Tiff and Jumba to help us out with this?
Hey, thanks, guys. Honestly, this is pretty interesting, right? Jumba, right after you say, I've got Team Liquid winning on the day.
And I even went so far to say split. Don't forget that. But listen.
That's true. That's true.
Listen, people call me a jinx all the time, but go back to even earlier broadcast. I've been on all day.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're going to keep you around more often because I am notably a curse, but you, on the other hand, you are definitely counteracting it. But you did want to talk HUSS in particular, right? Deeds, Dupe, and Jelly. Jelly's been on fire.
Absolutely. He's been unreal today, and I think that he's actually been breaking out huge this year. If you guys are unfamiliar with this squad, they picked up Deeds at the transfer swap at the last split, and they didn't increase their performance immediately. They were still around like middle to lower half of Pro League, but then LAN came, they've been playing good. Jelly's been dominating creator tourneys. He's won 2 back-to-back, so he's just farming those for some cash. And then now you see today, I believe he has 17 kills out of 22 for his team. He's just absolutely dominating. He is doing amazing. I think he's been needing a team to just fit his style for a long time. He hasn't had the greatest team results yet, and now he's finally found that squad to do it with.
Yeah, it's so cool because I know Grace just kind of hit a brief point that, you know, HUSS only had 3 kills and they finished in, I believe, like 16th place in the last lobby, but Jelly racked up another 3 kills in a game in which didn't really do the best. So now we pull up our Sony in-zone kill leaderboard, and kind of this is where it's shaping up after 4 games. Jelly's at the top with 17. Of course, Mr. Rosie right there behind him at 16. AG Global's Niazul with 14. And the boys, Carter and Loader, finishing out the top 5.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone here is performing really good. It's a tight lobby. It's a really tight lobby right now, especially after Liquid just jumped back up into the mix. So these last 2 games are going to be the ones to decide who takes it all.
Ooh, I mean, you're not wrong. We got to get into games 5 somehow. Thank you so much for all of the vibes that you brought and all the insight. I'm going to send you packing, and we'll see you when we see you. Hopefully soon. But I'm going to get Dia back because it's been a minute, and I kind of missed him. So, hey, Dia, welcome back.
I'm like Jumba, but with worse takes.
Longer hair, too.
Longer hair, too. Although Jumba will get you. I think that Jumba looks like a luscious locks kind of man. He could absolutely
Honestly,
pull it off.
Come time we hit Japan, dude's probably just gonna have as long of hair as you. I don't know. Everyone just has nicer hair than me. It's crazy. I have to get extensions to compete with you guys, but enough about that. We are locked in on Apex. We talked about the Sony in-zone kill leaderboard. We see the stakes at the top. There's a lot of star players, but moving back into E-District, I see a ban on Mad Maggie. Is that what I'm seeing? Goodbye,
Yeah, Graceful and I talked about this a little bit during the last game, but the Mad Maggie ban probably moves us straight to Baby Comp. For a lot of teams, that seems to be still the default, especially in the Americas. However, it does open up a couple of other things as well. Axel still available if you want a soft counter Gibby. Not nearly as hard of a counter as Maggie, but still a really potent pick. Things like Bloodhound, I was also wondering if they would enter in during the last half of E-District. Doesn't seem like that's the direction that we're going in, despite what I have been led to believe by J Future. We'll see, though. We've got 2 matches left to... Yeah. I mean, it's important, right? You've got to... You've got to tease the strats, but you can't just whip them out willy-nilly. It's got to be based on what the vibes in the lobby are. And right now, the vibes in the lobby have been extraordinarily chaotic. Tiff, you've been watching it as much as we have, but this is a crazy, crazy day of play.
Look, every time I get on the mic for Apex Legends and we're throwing comp in the mix, it is just... I look at it and I'm like, what the heck is going on sometimes? Because we get so many changes and the pace just keeps increasing and it's being so fast that we talk about everyone having the viability to adapt to it. And if you're adapting or you just say, screw that, I'm just running teams down, a lot of those players in particular are finding success.
I do wonder with Team Liquid's past victory that they just got in game form. It was a long road for them to get there. I mean, physically long road. One where they were flanked by teams like ShopifyRebellion, Crazy Thieves, who did not make it nearly as far. They outlived DINOS, who were right in front of them, and Freethinkers did naturally die without even taking a lot of teams with them, which is a little concerning. Freethinkers maybe not having the best E-District, but that would continue the trend that we saw in the last split, where things like Stormpoint and Olympus, they were performing a lot better on. Team Liquid's perseverance through this lobby was impressive, but I wonder if they'll be able to rise to the bar that Alliance set in EMEA this morning, because the transition onto E-District is one thing, but Alliance's dominance is what you'd expect out of the Team Liquid roster on paper, something that they have been unable to deliver on in the Americas during Split 1, but during Split 2, if Jumba's guess is correct, might be the perfect time for them to showcase now.
It's interesting because Team Liquid needs to get 20 more points to be even tie BRAINROTTING. We just had a stat up there from Mr. Rosie with the 16 kills. BRAINROTTING's in the lead with 51 points. Team Vision's behind them, almost 10 points, so 9 points behind. And it's AG Global and Team Liquid rounding out the top 4 with 5-star tied with Team Liquid. So these next 2 matches are so make or break for anyone that wants to chow BRAINROTTING at the top.
BRAINROTTING are such a wild squad right now. I don't know what to make of this team, and I'm almost waiting for the last 2 games. It feels like I'm our resident doubter on the broadcast, where it's just my job to temper everyone's expectations about everything, and I will embrace it. But BRAINROTTING, I keep being on the edge, right? I'm like, well, they are doing really well, but surely this game is the one where it all falls apart. It becomes a normal lobby and BRAINROTTING.
Okay, doubter. Okay, but here's the deal. We know Crook and Enemy, and they have been such a long-standing comp Apex people, played on different teams. They have chemistry and history playing together. I said it earlier, Atlanta Premier, like we're going back where they were IGL'd by Hill. Guys, and don't say grandma, you're going back in the basement to me, Dia, but like literally, that's how long, it was so long ago. Now you pick up Mr. Rosie, who's put up 16 kills so far in 4 games, averaging north, like what is that, 4 kills a game? That's pretty dang good. So 51 total points. The teams we're talking about at the top, about all their roster swaps, ShopifyRebellion, Crazy Thieves, they're 8 and 10. They're still figuring things out. They got 2 to go. But this is just day 1 of an accelerated Split 2 series. And dang, does this have me excited for the weekend.
In a very weird way, we should be thinking about this. Yes, BRAINROTTING, I am going to be our resident doubter and say, yeah, maybe during games 5 and 6, this starts to fall off. But just with the start that they've had, I want people to remember the last time that we pulled in rank 1 players to the ALGS. It was done at LAN, and it was fantastic. Furia way back in the day, being able to do super well. I don't think BRAINROTTING are having that level of performance because the meta is less one-dimensional right now than it was at that time, where it was basically just send squads, kill squads. But the way that they are playing in this game does set them up with great potential, and it's difficult to say. There's a lot of things that can change in the course of a split. Looking at them right now, if you want to have hope for this roster, I am not going to tell you that you're wrong. BRAINROTTING do look like they have a pretty high ceiling. The way that they have started this split is good, and it is up to the rest of the lobby to catch up, even in these last 2 games.
All right, I'll hair flip to that, because I feel like if you put you, Jumba, and Grace back on the screen and we hash that out, you're right, that Furia roster, that was a totally different time. Of course, we've got the map feed. We're going out towards the west, and you can already see Team Liquid, your winners of match number 4, starting to get to the mix. Panic climbs up on high, grabs a knock onto Saucer, and ShopifyRebellion have found themselves into a finicky situation.
But a great place for Liquid to be. I'm of two minds about this, Tiff. On one hand, if ShopifyRebellion do well, Jumba is right. But on the other hand, if Team Liquid do well, Jumba is right. I don't know what to do.
Jumpa's right one way or another. He threw out 2 takes and he's like,
how has he created the situation?
I am right in one way or form. Honestly, I don't... You know, I always like to take a middle of the ground, man. I'm one of those most like people that I'm just like, I don't want to say anything negative, and y'all out here like turning me into a degenerate.
It's an important thing to be able to find ways to say negative things that are not about me, Tiff. I think that's an important distinction that we should make. I feel like I've been on the receiving end of a lot of flame recently.
Okay, but
and maybe you're misinterpreting.
It's my safe space, all right? Because I gotta flame someone. If not, it's gonna be like Sykes flaming me or something. I'm not even sure. But regardless, Team Liquid on the move. They've already claimed a couple kills. They've sent ShopifyRebellion packing. We're on blue, and we are feeling aggro. Maybe the momentum shift after that win, because honestly, they were putting themselves in good positions over on Storm Point. It just, I don't know what happened. AG Global kind of wiped them up. I'd have to go back and look at the VODs because we didn't show it on main. But that's the thing. They were still in a good position before that happened. They're playing a dang good game. So it was only a matter of time. It sounds crazy that we're like, it's only a matter of time before Team Liquid gets their first win on the split too. Yeah, of course. Now, can they do it again? Can they be like Alliance from EMEA?
They are playing with a lot less information this time around. Team Liquid don't really have the information that they did in game 1. No beacon scan for them to work with just yet, and are working off a lot of surveys right now, actually moving up towards Team Liquid. Or rather, moving up towards ShopifyRebellion, who have just respawned. This could be another 3 quick kills for Team Liquid off the 2 that they already grabbed. The reset looks easy to farm.
I mean, they took a ton of damage, right? Zero has to pull out the Gibby ult and disengage through the bubble, but they did grab the immediate knock on Designu, who's being picked up inside the bubble across the way. So the nades are going to need to come down. You've got the ults, but we have to watch the timing on the bub. And what does Zero do? He gets out of coverage, but look at where Zap already positioned himself.
I like how Zap is playing this, looking for the off angle, looking for a Liquid that gets a little too aggressive, but Liquid, smarter than that, are going to move up to the high ground as Geekay end up falling in 20th place. This 5th game not quite going their way. Geekay, bit of a slow day so far, nothing to be too concerned about, but definitely a team that would like to pick things up, especially later on in the split. Team Liquid, though, we're trying to press every advantage. They know they have one. It's just about finding a bit of grip on ShopifyRebellion, who have been extremely slippery so far.
That's a good way to put it, I guess. Now for AG Global, we've got to cross the way. 34 points inside the top 3, immediately taking some of these fights down here. When you think about that circle, they're in it, but on the south side. So playing from the south is what they're pretty good at, but they've got to clear out the space. And that triple take is doing a good job at forcing the team out of here. So now Storm on the retreat.
I'm going to keep our eyes on how AG Global balance the risk reward of all of their plays, because like we talked about, it's something that we know they are actively working on. Yanya getting to swing out here, certainly balancing that right on the knife's edge, loses his shields, but ends up finding a knock in the meantime. Charmander, the last one standing. The rest of AG Global coming back in to back up Yanya. Charmander just waiting, trying to go for this to turn it into a 1v1, but it becomes a 1v2, and Yanya is able to pick up the kill. W press, go down. They are our second squad out. AG Global very quickly on the retreat, on the reset, to make sure that they stay alive. But with Jaguaris getting knocked, Nezul actually gets isolated as well. The portal is canceled, and AG Global fall.
An absolute punishing move right there as we cut to Buckle Boys. Cersei on the ground. We're trying to land and maybe get the res back up. The Newcastle immediately pops onto it, navigates to like the shrivel of cover, but we are getting full sent. Buckle Boys are in trouble.
With head glitch climbing up here, will they actually find a head glitch? It looks like no. Baby Comp impossible to kill, even with Mellow on Fuse. We have not seen teams completely give up and all capitulate to playing Baby Comp. Fuse still being pulled out as a pseudo counter, but not quite enough in this instance.
No, we saw
Shopify take out the Buckle Boys. Dinos still up here as well, looking to continue the fight.
They definitely are. I'm curious if DJ is going to be able to kind of open something up with the Wraith for them. But as soon as they hit the move, a little stall for them. But all the teams that we've been talking about, Shopify Rebellion back up to a team of 3. They also did elect to bring in the Fuse for this. They're going to be rotating in likely through the north. Team Liquid on a delay as well. Trying to find that information of where they need to play from. HUSS on the east side, looking to do the same. I'm curious about Team Vision though, Dia.
And no one called Neon Square? That's the other thing. I mean, like you're saying, Team Vision, they've got a lot to go through, but look at what they've got to go through. It's a full lobby of basically people who didn't predict this zone. BRAINROTTING are coming down from City Hall. They've clearly got the ring read. I think Free Thinkers might have grabbed theirs over at Boardwalk, although it's difficult to tell given the timing that we're cutting to. Shopify Rebellion don't know where the zone is, but again, are going to get that info at City Hall. But teams like Unreal Nightmare, Sentinels, DINOS, they're all lost. And Team Vision, it's up to them to show them the way.
At least they were able to grab a ring scan, so they're going to be like, okay, cool. We have a redeploy for Loader to get back with the team. But even then, what's the call to play from? Because sure, there were a lot of things open just moments ago, but you didn't get that kind of information yet. And you've got some teams to go through. But if you double down and carve through Street Market, I see. I think that's a good way to go.
It's weird because Vision are making these calls without really being able to hit UAV either. So
yeah.
They don't know what teams are positioned in front of them. They're taking the safest possible route. But the fact that they're doing this with no information is in pretty sharp contrast to almost every other team in the lobby. However, we saw Team Liquid getting fancy with it earlier. We did wonder whether they were the kind of team that was going to be able to double up like Alliance did with the wins this morning. Let's find out if they are taking a listen with Team Liquid.
Really I'm around here. This is weird.
You want to get the big gun?
Just run forwards.
He's on the right over there. Yeah, maybe. Team top turbine.
Can we get in the build?
There's bullet trails flying through the truck over here. I'm on a roof right now. Yeah, I'm missing.
We're on zone.
There's a team in this.
So team, yeah?
Yeah, they were fighting there. They were fighting there.
Come. How to say? Enemy over there. There's a team.
Negative.
Okay, I mean, look, they're clean comms. They don't sound like overhyped, they sound relaxed, they sound calm, and that's exactly where you need to be. Head glitch down, and Team Vision have found their first resistance on getting into the circle without information on where teams specifically are. So Loader on the ground, Carter on the regain with the shield back, immediately prioritizing the res. 16 squads left though, but we still have 2 other teams amongst this side of the circle.
The attempted kidnap not going to connect on Division, but absolutely would have been deadly. Zach, no real clean way out of that. DJ going to get knocked though, and Jay joining him. May just be the end of yet another squad. We are already down to 16. Top 15. Waiting just a ways away. HUSS, the notorious pacifists, forced to kill during the course of today. Looks like this time they are forced into DINOS right ahead of them. DINO's gotta leave. HUSS not gonna let him. Deeds connects with a really nice nade, and Jelly slides in to finish things off.
I was gonna say, if he just walks in there, stands, and annihilates them, we have a serious problem, and they were just letting Jelly get these kills. He just opens the door and is like, this is fine. But now come the bubbles, in comes the chaos, and Dupe with ults in pocket can't use them inside, so it's all about the guns, it's all about the angles, and HUSS have found themselves in between Team Liquid, Storm, Team Vision, Buckle Boys. Too many names, and I'm starting to worry for us.
And with DINOS down, we've got 15 squads left. The fact that HUSS has survived is good, but the journey to the next ring gonna be really difficult for everyone. HUSS, Team Liquid, Storm, and Vision all having to rotate in from the southern side. Storm and Team Vision gonna fight. HUSS, Team Liquid gonna fight. Buckle Boys probably gonna get in there as well. And this whole southeastern side gonna be guarded by 5-star at the very end of that kerfuffle.
This is disgusting. That pullback is crazy. Honestly, for Team Liquid, Buckle Boys, and HUSS, great on them for not actually committing to Neon Square just yet, right? So the fact that we have to go up, the call out on 5-star is great, but once too many of these teams collapse, they might walk away with a good bit of kills.
5-star zone calls today have been really really on point as well. So often we're seeing them right in the center of zone, with the notable exception of game 1 where they went out in 20th place. Every other game from them, they have been a contender for first, just given their position alone, though they have yet to be able to execute on that every time.
Okay, back to Jelly, back to the stairs, and it's just too many people for him to be able to withstand. Deeds and Dupe outside, gets caught. It's a rogue Kraber from Crook.
How does Crook have the Kraber again?
Crook is just like that.
Yeah, he had that last game.
HUSS is gone.
Sentinels the ones to ultimately take them out, although that was a 3-squad collaboration between BRAINROTTING, 5-star, and Sentinels that ultimately took out HUSS. So not a team you can take lightly, but you pick a fight with one too many squads and you will die.
Okay. Good little look at.
Storm still have to fight here.
I feel like you've got to do it quick. You really don't have a lot of time, but you want to minimize the amount of damage you take while working through this engagement. You can see the electrified bubble up ahead. Carter scouting. Zed gets found out first. Good thing he can make that happen on the Wraith and get into that coverage. But 45 seconds on the clock. Gotta make something happen. Now, you carve up to the left and go the long way around, you just meet more teams, and it's not going to be easy. This is kind of where you want to be, but I like that 5-star has actually sent a player down into this engagement to maybe try to pick something up from it.
Between Storm and Team Vision, one of them wants to take the bridge. They don't want to take it first, and that's the real issue. For Crazy Thieves, they've got another problem. ShopifyRebellion have to rotate through them because the north side is so doomed for Shopify. Crazy Thieves are under a lot of pressure, but their defensive setup, especially with Catalyst, should let them weather the storm. I don't believe they've used the wall in this engagement just yet, but right now it doesn't even look like they need it. Crazy Thieves seem confident enough that they're just gonna straight up win the fight.
Oh, wait, we're dropping a redeploy. Okay, maybe we can get out of here. We don't have a heck of a lot of time, but we're immediately hopping straight onto this. Pops over the building and onto the horizon we go. We'll check in with Crazy Thieves. Hopefully they can slam into a spot where they feel comfortable. But Unreal Nightmare immediately showing presence. Team Darkspire showing presence. And they've got to land somewhere. And here's Fredster looking straight down at Koifel. But because he gets shot, I thought Koifel was able to get out, but Awans picks it up.
A nice shot. Baby Comp, though, remember, notoriously difficult to kill. With just Koifel down, it seems like that's going to be easily remedied. Koifel does get knocked again. Crazy Thieves under a lot of pressure in this building, but they've got enough space to reset with 2 other squads very clearly in the area. Team Vision did end up choosing to take the bridge first and actually managed to coexist with Storm, who are now on the low ground underneath them. Team Vision do lose a lot of cover, but with this car, seem to have made it work. I don't love the position the Team Vision are in with both 5-star and Storm right next to them, but surviving is a whole lot better than not.
I mean, the fact that we're almost into the top 10. There's still 13 squads in this small vicinity, and Team Liquid is one of them. Team Liquid, who have found themselves the furthest point away on the western side. ShopifyRebellion had actually rotated around. We lose out on Free Thinkers. It brings us to 12. It's only a matter of time before Team Liquid and Shopify face off against each other, and this is how you kick it off with a Ring of Fire.
Bubble gonna answer this immediately. Do they just rip a Valkyrie now? Because Team Liquid, having lost their bubble, are gonna be out of options, especially with SR having bubbled second. So, nice call to just take to the skies. Team Liquid, not a lot of places to land. They're gonna have to fight for something.
Oh gosh. All right. And here we go immediately. Unreal Nightmare is the choice. We have some coverage to hit a couple shield cells. Missile swarms incoming will be slightly a nuisance. But for now, Unreal Nightmare is not going to jump over this fence and full send it. It's not smart for them to do it because Team Liquid are out of the circle. They have to move in. Same with Crazy Thieves, and they've got a good bit of distance to cover.
I genuinely don't know who's going to win this fight between Unreal Nightmare and Team Liquid, especially with Crazy Thieves coming in for the third party. I mean, it might just be CRT that are the big winners of all this.
Oh, okay. Across the way. kills going down. We got Monsoon hitting the ground, but you're right. It's been interesting. Crook still has bullets in the Kraber, so that's going off, and Sentinels find themselves in a precarious situation, and Crazy Thieves have moved up onto Unreal Nightmare. Team Liquid have to contend with Team Vision across this area as they all have tried to coexist on this side of the circle. And for now, Crazy Thieves, they clear this out. They force Unreal Nightmare away.
Wall from Jen Burton is good, but Team Liquid still have to be cleared as well. And Team Liquid trying their best to stay on the high ground using the Newcastle wall. Likely the Gibby bubble to come back up in a second. Yes, they're losing health, but Crazy Thieves can't bleed them out. These Newcastle, these baby comps are so hard to kill. And especially with Koifel having just popped the ultimate, gonna have another one back soon. But will it be in time to evict Team Liquid? Because Crazy Thieves cannot afford to share their space.
All Sentinels and Shopify Rebellion both down. Not gonna find viable area. Unreal Nightmare dead center, and Crazy Thieves still dealing with Team Liquid, finally getting the opening they needed with Panic. 1 pixel HP drops the bubble. Jen Burton lights up the kill feed. Crazy Thieves claim this side of the circle, and that's a lot of space. That will be so nice for endgame.
Perfect timing on the cooldown from Koifel. Might even have another ult available if they can find an Excel for this next zone close. 15 seconds left. BRAINROTTING still in this as well. BRAINROTTING have the chance to find themselves a win, secure themselves at the top of the standings outside of the precarious position they otherwise find themselves in. But so many squads still left. 6 other teams stand in their way. The infinite ammo Kraber from Crook, the big tool in their pocket.
I'm like, he's still got bullets. We come on over. It's infinite ammo, and they are just gonna let this lobby light it on fire. Plenty of space. Mr. Rosie on the path. He's just doing work, and the Mastiff to go through. Goodbye, Storm. BRAINROTTING is insane right now.
Vision up on the high ground, but gonna have to drop real soon. Don't want to drop right down onto a team that they would otherwise have to fight. 5-star underneath them. 5-star again in a great position. And it's 5-star and BRAINROTTING that have been the constants of the day. Vision still hoping for their breakout game. Second place right now. Can they make it up to first?
Oh, Crazy Thieves drop it down straight into Team Vision, but Zach goes down. Carter and Loader both trying to hold on. Crazy Thieves eviscerated, and into the top 5 we go. A quick pickup of Zach will be imminent here for this endgame, because Team Vision now on this side only have 5-star to contend with. The other 3 teams on the opposing, and Mr. Rosie, you've got to keep your eyes on him because he is literally attacking many different teams, and Team Vision have been eliminated.
Yeah, the Kraber just ruins that positioning as well. That plus Mr. Rosie makes it impossible for anybody to exist in front of BRAINROTTING. Now having bubbled though, BRAINROTTING are gonna lose their bubble, I believe second out of all of this. First one gonna drop momentarily, and yes, it was BRAINROTTING dropping second, so they just commit to the fight. That's the kind of play I'm talking about as Crook hit fires the Kraber, but is unable to finish the fight. Full 11 come in, and as the final 2 squads with one broken already in front of them, full 11 should be finding their way to a Game 5 win.
That is a backyard brawl if I've ever seen one. Bub fighting galore. That is Apex, baby. Full 11 standing amongst the chaos. The death boxes at the end. Legatron, Soviet, and Future. Nice job.
I mean, that was insanity, and it just doesn't stop. The way that BRAINROTTING are able to mind control this lobby, and even as this game slows down, even as the series does become more like the ALGS we are accustomed to, wherever BRAINROTTING are, it is so impossible for any other teams to exist. The Kraber somehow always in Crook's hands. I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. And BRAINROTTING, even though they don't win that game, have likely secured their spot in first just due to the massive lead that they're able to accrue.
Oh, you mean there are 13 kills at a 4th place finish? I mean, look, plus Crook's Gibby goes hard. That man was playing Gibby for so long back in the day, Apex Cop. I'm pretty sure I have a notebook somewhere where we like had a huddle, and I was like, dude, tell me all about what you're looking for. And now that he's banned, we'll see what he does after that. But of course, full 11, 16 total points. Really nice job there for Shopify Rebellion. 3 points. HUSS not getting too many. Do get 1. GK goes out early. Same with AG Global. Just got 1 more game on the day. See what you can do. And if you can get close to BRAINROTTING.
Yeah, again, 5-star. Another really good game for them. Darkspire up in the conversation as well. It is incredible to watch the way that these teams are performing right now, because the barrier to execution in the ALGS does tend to be so high, so unwelcoming to new squads. But the way that we are seeing teams like Storm, like 5-Star, like the Free Thinkers, as they remake it into the PLQ, or rather out of the PLQ, just continue to manipulate the state of the game, the state of the series, and I mean, make it impossible for other teams to play their regular game is really impressive. There's a mechanical ceiling here that we are still breaking through in the Americas.
It's going to be really fun to witness this over the next 3 weeks, right? Because it's so much accelerated that it's going to be really nice. How are you going to combat all of the players that Dia is talking about, all the teams? But here's the deal, guys. If you want to see it live in person, we got something special for you. Check it out. Vegas tickets on sale now.
Sony InZone, the official audio and monitor partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Some call it luck. I call it skill. All right, here I go. Yeah, good try. Maybe try harder next time.
Red Bull is giving wings to the ALGS and the Apex community.
We are back with even more Apex Legends and the last Apex Legends you are going to get tonight after a chaotic day. Some of our players are going to need the break to, well, probably brain rot a little after this. And that will certainly be in keeping with the theme that we've established today. However, it has been Team Vision who over the course of these last 5 games have come up to challenge the brain rotting squad that rules us all. The brain rotting sitting at first with 69 nice points that they've gotten for themselves. Vision sit below them at 52, in large part due to Carter and Loader. Players that Zach is very free to give praise about, 2 players that he has relied on to carry his vision, pun intended, to fruition. The brain rotting do stand in their way, and brain rotting take the first ever match day of the second split here in the Americas. Or will Vision overcome them and continue the path they started on in the Split 1 playoffs? We're about to find out, Graceful, because in about 25 to 30 minutes, we're going to know for sure.
Most definitely, they have been showing no signs of stopping at all, as the fragging has been going on for unlimitedly. They're just running teams down, essentially, just winning fight after fight, staying on top. There's something they are doing that other teams really have to VOD review and learn from, because they are picking the right fights and they're winning them with ease. Whether that be due to the fact that they're maybe potentially triple swinging on right timings, or is it just the way that they are naturally team fighting together? It is definitely going to be a ton of fun for sure.
We got another zone pulling right on top of 5-star as well. I mean, my gosh, some things never change, but one thing that I'd like to see change is getting a little bit more Jumba in my life. I need a couple more takes, because Jumba, you keep playing this 5D chess. I don't know how you're always right about everything.
And I'm not changing up too much right now, as I'm coming in to talk briefly about Liquid a little bit more, because I've been listening to their comms after Game 3, and they've been talking about they were a little tense coming to the last 3 games. That win really helped fix that. I wanted to highlight that they were playing baby comp last game, extremely aggressive. I feel like it's not a type of comp you see where a team's just going to run at other squads on edge, but they were doing that, and I think it's because they're coming from Canal Plaza, not a great POI. They've had some tough zones for that, and they're just trying to maximize the points they can get with it. So that's the Team Liquid update, but I'm going to lock in and listen to some of Brain Rotting's cons and hopefully come back with that after Game 6 to see how they've been so good today.
I appreciate that, Jumba, because we're going to be talking a lot about brain rotting as we close out the day. Whether they take first here or not, it has been a fabulous day for any brain rot enjoyers. And right now, running with the Rampart Fuse Wraith, that's the kind of composition that I want to see people get aggressive with.
Honestly, just the Wraith plays all over the place today have been phenomenal, especially Crook as well, with the likes of that Kraber, as we've seen so many plays happen today. Unlimited Kraber left and right has been dominating throughout the matches of the regions. Honestly, at this point though, I would like to say as well is they're so crazy consistently there though. Like it's not a signage of, are we just good at only fighting, or do we have good endgame? I feel like everything is just clicking.
Yeah. They're not just killing everybody and getting to the end game. They are killing a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but it has not just been that. However, for Team Liquid, as Jumba said, fighting is their way, especially with that last game. Even on Baby Comp, trying to play as aggressively as possible, taking a bite out of Koi to start things off. Maybe shut down the Crazy Thieves in this last game, with Jen Burden trying, it seems, to get away on the outside of the building. Crazy Thieves are playing an every man for themselves kind of game and just trying to escape from Team Liquid.
Zero returns the favor on his former teammate, as Gen, I believe, took him out last game as well. Now though, they have been really good at getting this early aggressiveness from the looks of the last game as well, so that's a good sign. But can they close it all out though? We've seen so many teams alive knowing to fight for all of the power spots essentially, and if you have too many teams fighting for the same area, that turns into a mayhem at the drop of a needle almost. So Crazy Thieves right now looking to reset properly with this information alone. Seeing some Bloodhound finally. We talked about it. We saw some success from the likes of Alliance in EMEA. But will Phony be able to replicate it now though, as he's completely on his heels trying to get the reset?
Yeah, even with that read, I'm surprised that he doesn't go for the craft. We can see the map, and if you're on multi-view, you can see the map too. Craft are right ahead of them, but choosing not to pop that for right now. He's going to move for a safer res. There's a crafter over at Boardwalk that may be a little bit more out of people's rotational path, and seems to be the play. Not really sure what Phony is going for right now, because time is of the essence. As much as you want to play safe, getting everybody back into the game as quickly as possible is also integral to Crazy Thief's success.
It is indeed. As we saw, some fights are breaking out, though. This is something that we always see in the games or in the series coming. When the series are about to come to an end, all of these teams that don't have as many points and the teams that are now feeling confident, reinvigorated with motivation, as they manage, as you said, the likes of Team Liquid. After that win, they're awake right now, and everybody's looking to take the fights that they're feeling confident in. And the teams that haven't been doing good are throwing haymakers. Something has to stick at this point, because if you're not putting up points on the board right now, we're talking 3 days back to back to back where you have to put up points, because if not, okay, to be fair, Americans have a lot of people qualifying, but even then, you want to make sure you put yourself in that finals lobby before we talk about making LAN.
Downers are trying to bait a fight right now, making the rat play. The W Press are going to be the first squad to go out, and it is to no other team than BRAINROTTING.
They're catching people lacking right now. People's attention span has gone down since the likes of BrainRot invention, I would say. And you can see it right here in this game. Their attention span is 0 because they get taken out of the equation almost immediately.
Yeah, get sent back to the lobby to doom scroll until the next game. Oh wait, there is no next game. This is it. BRAINROTTING, for all of the death and destruction that they have doled out today, every team that they kill here is going to be sat in the gray screen watching just them and their chances of a match day win in our first day of Split 2 drifting away. The Sentinels, having picked up a few of these death boxes, are just going to take the portal out to safety. But this game actually surprisingly taken a turn for the calmer, as we'll take a look at the zone right now, and it explains a lot about why. A City Hall zone like this has a lot of buildings that every team can exist in, and you don't even have to start coexisting yet if you don't want to. You can have a building basically all to yourself until the zone starts closing. The next zone closes, yeah, we might lose 1 or 2 squads. The next zone closes, we'll probably lose 3 or 4. But at some point, City Hall is going to run out of safe spaces, safe buildings to be, and those few teams left with their building, they are going to be the real winners, and they are likely going to be the actual winners of the final game.
Indeed, a lot of playable area in the current zone. However, fights are still happening, even on the edge of the zone, as AG Global still looking to make plays happen. Currently sitting on 6th overall with 36 points, but still more than happy to take a fight to ensure that we're up that leaderboard.
The invis doesn't really work from HUSS, but the scan still provides value enough to take down Yanya, and Jelly just around the corner avoids being shot by Nazul, taking almost no damage for their trouble. AG Global go down to HUSS.
I mean, HUSS, one of those teams that initially got engaged on by everyone, now looking to throw back hands at everyone to say, hey, we did win most of the fights that people took to us, so why not just take the fights to them instead? Sentinels, however, one of the teams that everybody has been talking about to a degree, sitting in the middle of the pack right now, hoping to get the ball rolling. Even though it is the last match, you can still move up that leaderboard quite happily, because some of these teams have been soaking up so many points, so that the middle of the pack, honestly, very tight.
Sentinels playing safe. Everybody actually taking a chill pill. Like we're talking about, these things can go one of two ways. You can get accelerated, or you can slow down. BRAINROTTING, I'm sure, would like to fight a little bit more, especially with the composition that they have, but have been unable to actually pick any fights meaningfully in this game so far, despite the couple of kills that they were able to accrue. Right now, the fact that they are sitting right around the edge of zone does give them the opportunity to fight teams like Buckle Boys and teams like HUSS. Is this guy Crooks going Kraber hunting again?
He sees that, and nothing can stop him at all. So speaking of that, honestly, let's see what he has going on in his mind. I want to hear what Crook is thinking right now. Let's have a listen with BRAINROTTING.
I'm burning the axle.
Anyway, right now.
60. 60 burp.
Running away.
Running back, yeah, we're running away.
That team just got...
They waste a fuse ult.
They might come back again. Better.
Yeah, I was gonna say play some right space. We need a carrot team like southwest.
You might need to play big on the team.
I'll try. I'm taking port right now, though.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
They try to triple walk up from here. I like predicted it and then fucking hit all of them for 100. Just make sure you watch out. I'll let you know if they come. I'll let you know if they come my side.
I will have a good angle. I'm gonna play like a wider angle. I just need to carry my choke as well.
See if they get their ults back in time. Come back. Yeah.
I can just burn fuse all in.
I would assume they're playing for round 3 information, and then they're going to come back and fight us if we have down. But I would assume we don't have down.
No console team. Playing no console.
Yeah. They're
just gonna.
It's an actual fuse. Swear.
Yep. Okay. Wait. I think.
Example. We need to play into our top or top's not really it. It is in. But
we can put the corner for sure.
Yeah, they can't play that corner. We need to do that.
The pills.
Yeah, we kind of probably want to go to that sooner rather than later so we don't lose it. I don't see anyone.
No, we can play on our left side.
Yeah.
We need to play from like our left side here.
Yeah, we should be mindful of Axel. Just triple break it.
Okay, but they were on ping. Yeah, they were on ping. I said they're on ping over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're moving or not, but.
The comms are buttery smooth, so calm and collected. Honestly, it sounds like when you're just playing ranked with your friends, enjoying your time, and it honestly it looks like you're just 3-stacking preds against diamond players sometimes. So they're feeling good about themselves. Crook, however, sheds a tear as he didn't get that Kraber, but another fight Bruce, maybe he gets a little bit more loot here.
Right behind them, HUSS, who never choose the fight, but seem to always win it. Seem to be doing so once again. If BRAINROTTING go down here, this opens up Team Vision to potentially win the day. But BRAINROTTING, still with 2 up, are not to be counted out just yet. Crook peeking in for a little bit of extra damage. Jelly getting fancy with it as well. Played behind the knockdown shields. Rosie's going to be taken down as Deeds contributes to the fight. And BRAINROTTING decide that it's their chance to get away. They are hurt. You heard him. They were talking about being mindful of Axel ults, of playing the corner early. But nobody expects that when HUSS end up walking at you, that it's just impossible to win.
I told you, they woke up after a while. They're like, hey, we're actually winning majority of our fights, if not every fight almost. Why don't we just take the fight to them? Now that they're finally being the ones being proactive, making plays on other teams instead of getting engaged on, they're coming out on top very convincingly.
Crook's alive for right now. I am wondering where he's actually able to get a res. There was a crafter behind them, like near the fight that they just took, but as the zone closes, I think that's going to be cut off. It may be that Crook just doesn't even have the opportunity to find reses at all. And with Team Vision taking an engagement here, there's actually been no notification yet that BRAINROTTING are eliminated because they're not. Team Vision don't know the advantage that they have.
Indeed, comes down to Crook. Last remaining team player right there on that team, hoping to see if something can happen, but actually HUSS runs into another team, Buckle Boys. One of the teams that is currently sitting 18th is having a hard time, but is getting this reset. They do end up trading. Looking to see if Cersei can make something happen on this Axel player right now. Comes down to a 1v2.
Swinging onto Jelly, gets the knock. Cersei almost finds Deeds as well, takes the shields clean off him. But Jelly's gonna get rezzed, and HUSS gonna be right back in this. Still down dupe, which is an unfortunate reality they'll have to deal with, while Crook is ratting things out. This is... we can't be putting Wraith feet on the broadcast, man. We can't just be doing that. Honestly, think of the children.
If his toes are right there, he should take zone damage. Let's fix that instead. Team Vision, however, in a prime real estate spot right now, sitting currently on the 2nd spot, 53 points in a good position to make plays happen. If they can add up some more kills, I believe they were only 6 kills at the beginning of this match behind BRAINROTTING, but now maybe they can close this out.
Yeah, if you're able to pick up these kills, do you close the distance here? Not quite. BRAINROTTING have so many points. Team Vision need like a 20-ish point game. And more than that, they need BRAINROTTING to actually die, because Crook has lived for quite a while since the rest of his team's demise. Right now, it looks like he's serving himself up to Team Vision, though. The man is slid right into the open, and it's Vision that take out BRAINROTTING. Crook, what was that?
He was wanting to jump into that same corner 3 other people are staying at, and he saw that, immediately started jumping and just figured out that, hey, it is over. Let's die in a little bit of a dance before the light glows out.
Well, there's a long distance that Team Vision have to go to catch up. BRAINROTTING, they end their journey at 72 points. That is a 17-point gap between Team Vision and BRAINROTTING. 17 points from now that Team Vision must accrue. That's a very, very good game. With HUSS going down, though, things have gotten a lot easier. Team Vision going to go for the kidnap. Onto Team Liquid is 0. Does get eliminated. Carter going in for the frag, finding the kill, and pushing us down to 10 squads. Collects another bit of KP for Team Vision, but kidnaps himself right back into Crazy Thieves, who have set up the trap of a lifetime.
While they were making a play, another team saw that and made a play on them. Crazy Thieves looking to close this out potentially as Loader is trying to get the rest, but it's looking real grim for Team Vision of potentially closing out this series as Axel ult is coming in on the rest as well. He sticks it. Should be able to get him out, but another guy swings immediately. And Team Vision gets eliminated on second spot.
It's looking good for the BRAINROTTING fans. That's all I'm saying. With Team Vision out, the chances of any other team catching up to BRAINROTTING's 70+ points are slim. Slim to say the least. Teams like 5-Star still in the conversation. Teams like Full 11 still in the conversation. But you look down at even Crazy Thieves, who made that crazy play, and they've got 36 points so far. Crazy Thieves, they're just playing not to have a bad day.
Honestly, really want to go back and VOD review that in case they actually saw that, had the awareness that they were making a TP play and took advantage of that to make their own play. Ended up netting them not only more kills and placement, but also potentially an endgame spot on that exact area that we saw Team Vision kidnap and, well, try to kidnap and eliminate Team Liquid. Potential spot right there. However, we still see one team, 5S, always in endgame spots, still here.
5-Star have basically been predicting zone perfectly. I would really love to talk to their IGL about how they're approaching this, but realistically, with the rest of their performance today, it's likely not going to be a conversation that we get to have on broadcast. Still really looking forward to talking to them in future, though, because these zone predictions have been critical. Crazy Thieves, notably invis right now, as Phony pops the Bloodhound ult on the low ground to get the team back into position. Does have Gary S overestimating his position. He can't see anyone, and he just walks right into Crazy Thieves.
Crazy Thieves right there, Phony with the Prowler. Prowler been showcased really well so far in all of the regions, honestly. Just a weapon that's super strong. Puts him down almost immediately on that swing. As we also see, though, Full 11 working their way in. Zone is actually ending on their high ground, mind you. They don't have to drop. They just need to hold out high ground. 7 teams alive, however. If they can close out their side potentially and just focus their way, but whether that be in the northeast section or just straight up, well, for them it would be south. Just make sure to hold out their backs initially and then just look all in the same direction. They should be able to close out this game because other teams are forced to fight before them.
Portal down to the low ground from Dark. 5-Star overstep, though. That is a nice punish from Sentinels. Blink absolutely ready for the aggressive play out of 5-Star and helps take him down. Dark did get his banner recovered, but the chances of actually pulling off this res slim to none, as in the top 7 squads, Crazy Thieves and Sentinels fighting for the dominant position on low ground now. Crazy Thieves making another interesting play with this Bloodhound. Phony gonna dip back into the invis, double dipping on this Bloodhound, going for the triple even.
Great reaction on that Watson fence, initially netting Sentinels another kill, canceling out that TP on Dark. However, Crazy Thieves looking so strong right now as they have that head glitch on that small slope, making sure that Sentinels are not walking in for free. Eliminates them immediately as Gen Burton mops them. More KP, more placement point to them, and they still have a solid spot to play.
There's a lot of KP going the way of Crazy Thieves. Is it enough to move them up to challenge for a top spot? Right now, they are recovering from a bad day. Can they make it a good, even a great one? Full 11 are going to try and swing themselves as 5-star go down their zone position, not netting them nearly enough points. The Full 11 find themselves face-to-face with the Crazy Thieves, who are just coming up the hill right now.
Full 11 loses Soviet almost immediately right there. The Newcastle, so crucial to the comfort. That reset power now gone. Comes down to Future trying to survive on that Valkyrie. Is he gonna pop his ult and just fly up and try for the best? Playing behind those double knockdown shields though is gonna be very scary.
Does get enough coverage from the nades, and invisible. Crazy Thieves, by the way, playing inside this Bloodhound bubble, are going to look for a little bit more. Koifel thinks about going for the swing on his own, but plays conservative with the rest of the team, has the backup. Phony and Jen Burton shooting over his head to try and clean up every other squad around them. We've got Crazy Thieves in the top 3, and it is not looking close. Full 11 are going to go down, and Crazy Thieves still on high ground, have the scans, have everything in their favor, and Jen Burton climbing over the wall is going to seal the deal, putting Crazy Thieves on top in game 6.
You said a team had to drop 20 kills. I saw 18 before that last team elimination at this point. If they dropped a 20-point bomber right there, which is always one of these things we talk about, that, oh, this team just needs to essentially drop a nuke in this match and kill 20 people. They did it. How far will they propel up that leaderboard to make their way up? Because they've been quiet or lurking about the first couple of matches, but that match, wow. Phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal.
I am pulling up the scoreboard because finding where Crazy Thieves were before this match is going to be such a change in their scores coming out of it. They have, with this game, almost single-handedly turned around the entire day for themselves, and it was the it wasn't the Bloodhound that did it, but the Bloodhound was a big part of it. Make no mistake.
It was the Bloodhound deal. We saw it also have success in other regions like Alliance in those 2 matches as well, and here we see it once again. Honestly, I think the biggest benefit of running Bloodhound is that you feel confident. And that is one of the most important part in these lobbies, especially a couple of matches that look like rank. And when you have a Bloodhound on your team, you feel really safe. And the way that they also use, we saw again Burden use the Invis, 3 times as well, are finding success with that for the moment. But they were just on fire this whole game.
Yeah, makes it so much more difficult to deal with the team who is constantly swinging you because you can't see them and they can see you perfectly. Crazy Thieves utilizing this pick to perfection. I hope that they manage to find a way to beat BRAINROTTING because the story would be incredible. But also, if BRAINROTTING win, I can't say that I'm upset about it, Tiff.
I mean, that was disgusting. Like, just flat out to end your day like that. We had so many questions. Jumbo was talking about it. We were talking about the roster shifts at the start of the day. That skill ceiling for Crazy Thieves and kind of their performance and what they're going to do, I think it's really high. And so for those of you guys that may have had doubts about roster changes, I think it's a good one so far. I'm not calling out.
I want to be very clear. I never said anything about Crazy Thieves having a bad roster change. This was pure positivity from me on the Crazy Thieves front.
Well, I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and pull up the top 3, guys. Crazy Thieves right there with 32 points. Probably one of the biggest games I've seen in Apex history in a very long time. Geekay kind of coming alive there with a 10-pointer. Full 11. Okay.
Geekay's slow day. Weirdly slow day for them. I mean, the name recognition of this squad, we all expect them to go to LAN, and that's all well and good. Slow day for GK, and I'm not shy about saying it. I think they'd expect to take a step up, but unfortunately, a combination of their zone reads and their fighting just really wasn't there today, and I think the tempo of the lobby threw them off quite a bit, Grace.
Yeah, most definitely. But one thing that did throw out this lobby for sure was Bloodhound. And Jumba, I know you like Bloodhound. What do you feel about this match and this pick across not only this region but other regions previously as well?
Well, listen, if you asked me last week, I was thinking Bloodhound was a crazy pick, but then Alliance and now CRT with this 32-point game might have changed my mind on that. And earlier, I believe it was game 2, I heard Koi talking to the rest of his team. He said, hey, listen, when Seer is banned, we gotta use Bloodhound. He goes, we just have to. The scan may not be as good, but it gives us so much information. So I don't even know if that was their plan for today. And instead, they go drop 32 points, and let's see where they finish, because that actually might have jumped them up to win this. They're actually 10 points short. Brain Rotting's just that good.
But they might win this. Wait, no. Brain Rotting just did so much work on the earlier games, and despite an early exit, I mean, still, it jumped Crazy Thieves up 6 positions, and they're kind of in the mix in terms of kills with Brain Rotting and Team Vision. Just Brain Rotting, literally brain rotted harder in those lobbies, I guess.
The Crazy Thieves jump is really wild as well, because I had anticipated them to be having a much worse day, just given the fact that I had barely talked about them. This day had been so much about 5-star, about Brain Rotting, about Team Vision, Team Liquid, even AG Global got more screen time than Crazy Thieves, but it all came down to the last game to completely reverse that fortune. And I mean, really interesting to see them pull out the win. Do I have time for the MVP discussion now, Tiff? Is this fair? Do we introduce it now? Do you have other stuff you want to talk about?
We do have a Sony in-zone kill leaderboard that we could bring up first to kind of show some stats, and then if you want to have this influence some of the discussion, I'm down with that, because Mr. Rosie's got 22 kills. Jelly, our one-man army, out there with 19. Carter in the mix, Loader to join him. Koifel, though, after that last game, jumps into the top 5. You said AG Global, and you got Panic and Zero in the mix. I mean, overall, it's pretty good, Grace.
I mean, I was actually peeping at Mr. Rosie's stream quite some time back where he was rank 1, and it was... I heard him say, yeah, I slept for 4 hours and I got back on. And this is what he has when he has sleep behind him right there. Rank 1 on the rank leaderboard at some point, and rank 1 right here for the day. Huge gameplay from them all, like across the whole day. Honestly, it's been phenomenal watching them play.
I kind of hope they can keep this up. Now, Jumba, like, thinking of Brain Rotting, we already kind of highlighted Crook and Enemy have that history. Mr. Rosie, the grinder, but this is just day 1. Like, do we see the continuation of this team, you think?
I hope so. I mean, I listened to their comms in the last game, and it was unfortunately not their greatest of the games, but they just seemed like really cool, calm, collected. There was nothing like crazy or special they were doing. They were just playing standard Apex, and clearly it's worked out for them today. As you guys already said, Mr. Rosie has been the one who's absolutely impressed me. I'm not gonna lie, I was not familiar with his game at all. And now he comes out here and drops 22 kills, 52% of the team kills. It was an impressive day all around, and he's gonna get my eye for the rest of the split now.
That's interesting. Honestly, Grace said the same thing. He immediately was like, hey, this sounds like a normal ranked game. But of course, Dia, let's have a quick discussion. I'll give you 30 seconds.
It is going to be quick, right? It is going to be quick. Anybody, all in favor of Mr. Rosie for MVP, say aye.
Yep.
Aye.
All right. Everybody on the same page. I mean... This seems like a step too far to take early on, but I really can't help but compare, as I did with Tiff on the cast, Mr. Rosie to the introduction that we had with Furia coming into LAN. What was it, 2-3 years ago, where Furia was able to dominate in the Horizon meta? Yeah, it was. I mean, don't tell me how many years ago it was if it was more than that. But
okay, Grandpa.
Oh god. The fact that they are able to bring in a rank 1 player and convert that into success on the Pro League stage, even if it is just the first day, I think bodes really well for this squad, especially because they're doing it with Crook and Enemy, a squad that already works really well together. Mr. Rosie deserves the MVP, but the squad really forming around this ranked play style changed the whole lobby today.
It's been interesting, and I know Jumbo said he thinks it can keep going. Grace, what about you?
Yeah, I like to hold off a little bit on that, because I really do think that the groups in general changes your playstyle. We've seen it as well in the likes of other forms of everybody having the same playstyle. What if there's 3 brain rotters at the same side of the map? Only one can come out on top. So it could change over time, but so far starting really hot is anything is amazing, because you're all playing 3 days back to back to back, and so far they don't have to go back to the drawing board and make up a new plan or cook something up, because they did so well today. So hopefully other people have to try and adapt, but they don't really have that much time. We're playing again tomorrow and the day after.
It looks like we are going to be moving on for the day as we've got the MVP decided, and as Tiff stares solemnly off into the distance. Let's start to think about what we can expect tomorrow as well, because today we did have the Brain Rotters joining us, which is very nice. With Group A continuing tomorrow, the Free Thinkers will get to continue, but the Brain Rotters get to take their break. Group C will be joining us. Teams like JDG, Nice Guys, NIP, even Team Falcons rejoining us coming out of Group C. Tiff,
did I make a cool face?
Have you taken this seriously enough?
Did I make a cool face at least when I went out? Like,
you did make a cool face.
Okay, good. As long as I wasn't super duper. But here's the deal, guys. We got an interview, and I was so excited about this. Apparently, I just blacked out quite literally. Let's get Enemy in here. I heard he had a crazy day, and I want to hear more about it from the source. So thank you so much. Oh, wait, Jumba's joining us for the interview too. Okay. We got the crew. What's up, Enemy?
Yo, what's up, guys? Hello, hello. Nice to be here.
Hey. Yeah, this actually feels kind of intimidating. 1 enemy, 4 of us. But let's start out with the obvious, my guy. You just won day 1 of Split 2. How does it feel to start the split off this way and in such a dominating fashion?
Well, yeah, this is my first ever Pro League win in the last like 3.5 years since I've been competing. Me and Crook have like, I think like 6 or 8 second places together. And obviously picking up Rosie has been, you know, we got my first with him. Guy's the GOAT, best player in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
we talked a lot about the pace of the lobby changing today in a way that we don't expect during Pro League. It felt like the games were a lot faster, especially those on Stormpoint. Do you feel like it was you guys pushing the pace? Because here on the broadcast, you know, we're watching you guys and we're watching you succeed, and we're going, okay, so it's brain rotting that are pushing the pace of the game. It's brain rotting that are making all these plays happen. Did it feel like that while you were playing, or did you feel like the lobby was doing that and you were just going along?
Yeah, if you end up listening to our comms back at the beginning of the game, you'll hear me say a lot that teams are dying early and that we can get into a spot. Like one game on E-District where we had ended up taking one little compounds in the backside of Viaduct. We knew that it was going to be free because there was only like 16, 15 squads left. And we know people were just constantly dying off. And that was kind of like mostly what we planned around our game. It was just constant. I always constantly remind Crook, hey, you know, 15 squads are left. We could probably just walk into something pretty easily. And it just kept, you know, we just kept doing that over and over and it just kept working.
I mean, I said it while we were casting as well, and I said as some of these teams are adapting immediately to the fact that there's no teams alive, and if there's no teams alive, more opportunities unfold, and you guys definitely took advantage of that. So really happy to see you guys work out as a squad. I would say though, do you think, what do you guys have going forward now? Because most of the time, normally back in the day when I used to play years ago, it was always 1 day per weekend or maybe 2 at most. And then you still had a week of scrims going into the next day. You guys are starting really hot, but you have back-to-back days. And since you guys had such a good day, what do you feel that you guys might need to do better for tomorrow or the day after to potentially win again if you guys keep this form up?
Well, yeah, like personally for me, I would say I don't know, I took like a 3-month break from comp, so I'm getting back into like the actual, you know, seriousness of Pro League, right? Scrims are one thing, but scrims are like, it's not Pro League, you know, you're not really playing for anything on the line outside of just improving with your team. So now, you know, obviously having this week is really nice because now, you know, my confidence is already fully back to what it used to be ever since I took my break. So I'm really excited for Sunday. I also personally do like the fast-paced schedule. I never really liked going into the week in the scrims in a bad mood. I'm personally like a very fast resetter, and I just want to get right into the next thing because I already know what I did wrong that previous day for the games, and I just want to like already adjust it. I already know what to do. I already know the mindset I need to go in, and it's just like that. That's why I love the schedule it is right now, personally.
Really cool to hear that.
Enemy, what I wanted to ask you about, even for myself, but I'm sure a lot of the viewers are also curious about it, Mr. Rosie, individually, what can you talk about him and what he's done for the team that you and Crook decided to pick him up and join with him? Because to see his performance today, and I will be fully transparent, I just said it, I was unfamiliar with him as a player. To see what he's done has just been very impressive, and I want to know what you could say about him, what he's done for the team, and just to give the audience like an understanding of who Mr. Rosie is.
Yeah, I met Rosie through Challenger Circuit through one of my buddies named Fluent. I ended up like going back to LF1ing and Challenger Circuit because I wanted to make a comeback from the scene. He recommended him. He said he's a hardcore rank grinder and a good fragger. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't really care. I'm like doing this for fun. I started playing with him, and bro, the amount of times that guy would 1v3 is actually insane. I know like CC isn't like the biggest thing ever, but that guy had I think like 8 1v3s and 8 scrims in a row. It was actually insane. That guy actually might be the best player in the game right now. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I learned that he was a hardcore rank grinder, and obviously like you guys know, we did our rank 1, 2, and 3 grind to grind up from here. He carried our rank games heavily. He was always playing the entry characters and always like. The amount of times he also 1v3 in ranked, it's like actually insane for how talented that guy is. I honestly personally think he's like was what Koifo was when he was 17. That's what I think of him right now. That's how confident I am in that guy's skill.
I actually love that. I love that. Congratulations. Like, it's working really well, and I cannot wait to see it. It's also been really heartwarming seeing you and you and Crook back together. You are enemy. Sorry, I just read that. It's like 11 p.m., dude. We're grinding. We are grinding here on the Fast Lane Split. But it's been really cool seeing you guys back together. I was talking about it. It's like back in the Atlanta premiere days, right? Like a journey to get here. So welcome back to Comp Apex. You guys are looking good out there.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm going to send you packing. Go celebrate. Enjoy. We'll see you for another match day this weekend. And congratulations to you, Crook, and Mr. Rosie.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, guys. What a long day of Apex action. It has been so sick. And while I've got you all here, we've got to hit the final thoughts. And we'll do it like kind of round robin, similar to our split too. I'll start with you, Jumba.
I think this fast-paced 3-week split with comps, meta's not going to change too much, is going to be some of the craziest Apex we've ever seen if it's all like today. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh, okay, Grace.
I feel like we always say this is going to be the craziest it's ever been, and it just keeps going every single time. The only thing I will say is that I did ask for a team to potentially pop off the same way we saw Open with Workaholics and Floating, and I would like to say that we did see that today with Brainrotters, and also having now Mr. Rosie showing up after having that rank 1, 2, 3 grind with his teammates as well. And it's so much fun to see.
Okay, Dia.
I know that you guys were going to bring this up because you all thought that I was going to be made a fool of after the first 3 games, and I would just like to say that I have not been made a fool of yet. All of my hot takes, all of my predictions, they are a solid lukewarm right now, not decided one way or the other. So keep your eyes on ShopifyRebellion, because as the season goes on, I will be bringing this up, or you will have to, because I will not remind you of my failures.
Dia's just gonna pip in. It's gonna be a random day. He's gonna be on the beach in Spain or something crazy. He's be like, guys, remember what I said on day 1. No, it's happening. I love it. I'm going to get you guys out of here. It's been a great day so far of day 1 of Split 2, but we have, day 2 tomorrow, day 3 on Sunday. We got an accelerated split, baby. The action continues with EMEA tomorrow, match day 2 at 2 p.m. Eastern, whatever your time frame is. And honestly, if you guys are feeling pretty cool, you can go watch some APAC South, you can go watch some APAC North. All the regions are getting chaotic. Zeta won day 1 over on the APAC North side. Unlimit, our most recent Split 1 playoffs champions, it didn't have the best showing, and that's okay. You can have bad days. You just have to bounce back, all right? And make sure that you follow us all over on social media. Keep your eyes on the content at Apex Esports, wherever you guys get your content. I'm chronically online, so that's everywhere for me. But until then, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow for match day 2.